Island, racism, black women, it's really not necessarily about like Love Island as a whole. It's really about like racism and the fact that like black women cannot express themselves without being torn to pieces. And it's also about the fact that people expect black women to be so concerned about other demographics and what they experience when literally nobody cares about the trauma that black women go through or the racism that they experience or really anything. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I was noticing right now, I haven't watched the Kiki Palmer clip of the interview with Shelly and Alondria from Love Island. However, I've been seeing like clips of it already. And underneath the clips, people were upset with Shelly for saying that, she talked to Sierra and, she hopes that she does better and she hopes that, she's learned from this and taking accountability and all of that. Now, I guess they wanted Shelly to get on there and say that she hated Sierra or destroy her or say something further. And that just let me know like how much of a double standard people have, other races, when it comes to black people, because I can promise you Asian people are extremely racist as a collective, not everybody, but as a collective against black people. Culturally appropriate them, disrespect them, do all type of things, and definitely don't care about black people or nothing that they got going on. And then when somebody say something about them, then all of a sudden we supposed to sit there and get in the streets and go all on the floor and flip and dip and cry and scream and wail because of somebody saying a word that I can guarantee you, I know for a fact the word that Sierra used, I'm not going to use the word, but the word that Sierra used in the 90s, people were using that word, and I know for a fact that they were not aware that it was really racist against Asian people. Now, I never used the word because I never had no reason to use it. But if anybody remembers Cisco the singer, Cisco the singer, he had a artist called C Brown Eyes. The slur word brown eyes, and she was on several of his songs. If y'all look at his I think it was either the Drew Hill album or either his solo album, the first one, she was on there. So I need y'all to please stop acting like that is not a word that people use and they did not know that was racist against the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention how many people have disrespected black people, not to make it about us, but it's about us when y'all expect us to do something that y'all wouldn't do for us. How many people have used the N-word, called black people monkeys, apes, did all type of things, and then all of a sudden people who have never cared, never stepped for black people. The only time somebody say the N-word, the only people that are mad are black people. And half of black people are so buck broken that they don't even care. So it's just like, get out of here. What was Shelly supposed to do? When anti-blackness exists for everybody, what was Shelly supposed to do? Step for the Asian community? The Asian community don't step for black people. But anyway, let me let PhD Kimmy say something. Go ahead, sis.
Hi, good
Hey, how you
morning to
doing?
you. But it's funny because Huda said the N-word. So I don't understand why she is the most followed. And a lot of black women, especially I would say Nigerian women, I don't know why they want to be her hype man when she's literally racist. And it's like Shelly's getting all this hate for war because she's a beautiful, classy woman. Okay. And I feel like Huda and some of these other non-black women are everything that they stereotype black women to be, which is like a single mother, hypersexual, aggressive. And because she's a non-black woman, she gets away with that stereotype where if Alondra and Shelley acted like that, they would have been crucified.
I definitely agree with you. For me personally, I just wish that I could get more, you know, black people, and now I'd say black women, more black women to be unapologetic in saying exactly what it is instead of tiptoeing around it. Like but I know that you got PR campaigns. People don't want to lose money. People don't want to lose brand deals. So I'm here to say what people that have something to lose are afraid to say. I'll say that racism against any group of people is not correct. But racism against black people is the only racism that we are expected to experience from literally everybody, but yet defend those same people that would never, never, never defend us. When Ulissa got called out for saying the N-word, where were the collective of Asian people going in for black people? Huh? Nowhere. 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 But y'all expect Shelly to get on a platform and destroy a woman that she knows personally because she used that word when she said sorry. She said she's taking accountability. I hope she does better. What else did y'all want her to do? Because where are the people of other races that are destroying people for black people? Nowhere. And what's even more upsetting to me is that there are so many black women that really will go hard in the paint and go to bat for these other races. I saw a black woman in those comments like, oh yeah, I don't know if I can respect Shelly now because she didn't speak out hard enough against Asian racism. Do you hold Asian people to that same standard? Do you hold white people to that same standard? Do you hold Indian people to that same standard? You know what I'm saying? Do you hold anybody to that same standard, or is that only for black people? And I really do think that that's the reason why black people, black women specifically, black women specifically, find themselves being taken advantage by men so often, taken advantage by people so often, because black women, a lot of black women, I'm not going to say all, but at least 50% have a serious mammying spirit. They want to mammy and mule for people that would never do the same for them. And that's weird. That's why you have all these black women being somewhere with a man that ain't paying no bills, beating the brakes off of them. You know what I mean? And I don't know where this, there is a deep level of like a yearning for acceptance that black people have, black men and black women. And I really think that is the reason why, how like black men behave, where they're very anti-black with the yearning of things from snow bunnies and all of that, and very anti-black towards the women in their community. I think that's how it shows up with black men, but in black women, it shows up as yearning for acceptance and not staying on code with others in the community, with standing with black women. And I really wish that black women and black men too, I wish that we would stop yearning for acceptance from other communities, because white people, Asian people, they're not nowhere saying, oh, you know what, I wish the blacks would accept us. I wish that they would do this, that, and the third and let me go ahead and defend them in hopes that they will accept us. No, they don't care. They don't care. And I don't know. I don't know. It just be blowing my mind. Like, honestly, like, I wish black women will really, really stay on code, truthfully, because it's embarrassing to me every single solitary time. But let me go up here to Deli Pooh. Hey,
How you guys doing?
pretty good.
I wanted to get on to that, especially with the Shelly thing, that I was a little confused. I ain't even gonna lie, because I was like, Shelly, how come you didn't tell her? And all that. But then I had to think about how she portrayed things, how Huda was portraying stuff. Like the conversation with Chris or Jeremiah, she would completely twist it. And she was like, even after the conversation, Chris not told her once nor twice, but thrice of how she was doing things, and she was being really immature about it. And then when she was like, let's break up or whatever, and she was like, I think I handled it great. I'm seeing the patterns. No, baby, you're seeing your pattern of you being disrespectful, of you trying to do these things, of you sexually harassing somebody and trying to force them to do something with you, where she was like, I feel like you don't touch me, but was hypocritical about it or contradicting herself when he wanted to be out of the bed and give her a display of affection instead of just quote unquote in secret, which everybody was there, but instead of in secret, just go out. I don't think she actually liked him, but the way she would have flipped that, had Shelly had gone to her in private, one, the producers wouldn't have aired it. Two, they would have just zoomed in on Hood and her experience with her tears and said, yeah, she did this, that, and the third. And now Shelly is looking like the villain when Shelly comes out and says, that is not what happened. They're never going to air it. So it's like, oh, we're going to take her word. So she would have been villainized. So she said it in front of everybody. So they couldn't clip it. So they couldn't take it out of context. And that's when I understood that I was like, oh, okay. Because she will flip things on it and say, oh, he said this or he said that. Now, mind you, she was hating on all the new girls that was coming in, talking about either their weight or how they looked and all of those things. Like, if you have to down somebody else in order to feel good about yourself, you're the problem. You don't have that much self-esteem as you think you have it. So I was just like, I understand why Shelly made that smart decision. Because at first when I was like, hold on, Shelly, you could have told her. But the way that Huda goes about things, she would have completely flipped it on her. So I was like, ooh, yep, that's exactly what she would have done. So,
You know, I think another thing, I guess, now that you said that, was making me think. I also was very upset at the fact that it was very obvious that the black women knew that they couldn't express themselves and say what they really wanted to say. And that is how a lot of black women feel every single solitary day. It's very upsetting because I saw people talk about them at first saying that they were too poised. And I think somebody said this in the comments too, that Alondria was reserved. But if Alondria, the minute Alondria said anything, showed any emotion, expressed anything, then the next thing you know, people was talking about her and tearing her to pieces. And I feel like this season also lets you know as well how much black women are silenced and how black women cannot do anything. Because I can't understand in what world a black woman would be able to get on Love Island, try to coerce somebody sexually, then have and crack two guys there, two different guys, not leave with either one of the guys, run off both of the men, then be seen with another man within a couple weeks of getting out the villa. I can't see a black woman being able to sit there and verbally abuse a man there, calling him a punk AB, calling him a B, yelling at the top of her lungs, screaming, acting up. In what world would she still have brand deals and love and acceptance and understanding when she came out? She would be everything but a child of God. Oh, look at that ignorant ghetto black woman who's masculine, angry, and mean. She can't control herself. Ugh, we don't like her. They were upset just by Shelly saying she didn't like what was going on. If anybody cannot see the very clear double standard in the way that black women are treated versus the way other races of women are treated, like even the fact of their tears, even the fact that tears can be weaponized, right? But from other races. A black woman crying, it don't mean nothing to nobody at all. Who cares about your tears? Who cares about your tears, black woman? Don't nobody care about you crying. You know what I'm saying? And that is very upsetting and draining, how everybody somehow is Stevie Wonder to all of that. But y'all want black women to be up here crying because another girl of another race said something about Asian people and used the C word. That I don't care what anybody says. I'm old enough to know that there were people that used that in the 1990s and nobody knew, in the early 2000s, and nobody knew that that was racist. At least a lot of people did not know. So it's like, get out of here. Get out of here. Y'all, and I just feel like collectively, like I want to make it mainstream that when people say, oh, well, what about Asian people? Why y'all not saying? I'm not standing up for them. They can stand up for their own people. Because tell me where the Asian people are that are out there standing up for black people collectively. Nowhere. Nowhere. So why do you expect me to do something that you are not willing to do for us? Seeing as though y'all are very anti-black. You know what I'm saying? You got K-pop people running around here, um, culturally appropriated, stealing music from the 1990s and swag from New Jack Swing. If anybody's old enough to know what that is, like Teddy Riley and all of that, and repackaging it like they did something. You know what I'm saying? And then while they are actively cosplaying as black people, still using the N-word, still being in blackface, still being anti-black. And that's across the whole Asian diaspora. So it's like, get out of here. They're only ever concerned. They only show up if it affects them. But you want somebody to show up because it affects y'all too? Like, that's I it's mind-boggling. And the fact that every time these things happen, it's always a group of goofy black women that follow right behind it. You know how many lives I seen a black woman saying, "Oh, I think I'm not going to. I can't respect Shelly and Alondria. I can't like them anymore. I don't think that they stood up enough for the Asian community." Do you hold the Asian community to that same standard? Huh? Do you hold white people to that same standard? Do you hold the Palestinian community, Hooders community to that? Do you? Okay. You don't? All right.
And that's why it always puts us in last place because I
Mm-hmm.
think we took this thing like, oh, we know what it's like to be on the outside or to be pushed out on the outside. And so we're going to give empathy to other people. We're going to say, hey, this is okay. I think this went way overboard because they will excuse everything because of their anti-blackness and their problems that they're going through. But they don't even understand is that culturally or by society, we have been the main targets, but nobody comes to help. And I'm so done with other people of different races saying, yeah, I went to Black Lives Matter once. You remember the civil rights? Yeah, we were there too. Because y'all some leeches, y'all latched on. Y'all didn't actually want to help us. Y'all came there so it can benefit you. That's where I stand on that. But I was just like, I don't get it how they have to go out of their way. And that's the disheartening part. I don't care about any of them. I don't, whatever y'all do, don't expect me to do nothing. I'm not your mule. But when you're sitting here and saying I can't respect them or whatever, that gave me even more respect because I understood how she had to play a game, how she had to protect herself, some semblance of protection in which she wouldn't have had she spoken to her privately. And she came at her like a woman. She was just like, right now, I'm feeling a little frustrated. We can't talk. But then they was just like, oh, she's being this and that. When this girl has been calling men P words and all out of their name and all that stuff, and it's stalking the guy, like, girl, give it up. Like it's really getting and then very controlling. But nah, that gets a pass. And I'm just like, what? So they had to sit up straight, do all of this stuff. Oh, they act like they're too good or they're stuck up and all that. Okay. So if I were to just be myself or do anything, now I'm ghetto, ratchet, loud, masculine, all of this stuff and angry. There is no, like, if they already have these biases towards us anyway. So they want us to portray it so that they continue saying it. And then when we don't, that's why when Black people say we are not a monolith, we mean it by that. When other people say it, it's just like, no, y'all pretty much are. Y'all have the same standards for all of y'all. Y'all do the same exact thing. And then on top of that, they're like, oh, just one or two people in this group or whatever, et cetera. It's 98% of y'all. So I will generalize all of you. Now, there is a few stragglers on our side, but for the most part, we are giving and we are this and we're not all the same and, what have you. But I say only we can use that because for the most part, y'all are. As a whole, you guys are. But for us, it is only a little bit of us. I don't like it when they try to flip that.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I just think that, it's very exhausting being a black woman because of how much policing everybody does. And what is upsetting to me the most is that every other race of woman, literally every other race of woman, is able to just do what she want to do and say what she want to say without worrying about being viewed as, like you were saying, a monolith, or she's giving some type of grace and understanding. But let me say that. Go ahead, PhD Kimmy. You had something to say, sis?
Yeah, I just think that the producers also had a massive part to play in it. At the end of the day, Huda brings them more money than Shelly and Alondria. Even though Huda's been saying the N word, like on camera, she's literally saying it. She's literally made Jeremiah and Chris's experience horrible. And if she was a black woman, if she was a woman like us, she would not get the same grace, but she makes them more money. And that's the thing with the producers. They set the tone of the show. And that's why the viewers as well are as racist. And I do think that Trump actually being in office plays a part in it, because there's a rise of anti-blackness. It's always existed. It's always been really bad. But especially like this year on the show, there were so many people who were like Trump supporters. Even Charlie is British. Like, you're from the UK. What the fuck do you know about Trump? So it's like they had all these people with a lot of red pill, anti-black views, and you can see it in the viewers and how they've literally come and terrorized Shelly and Alondria for being nothing but respectful and having a good time. And nobody else gets this same harassment, even people who had racist slurs.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. Like I said, the double standards are very obviously there, clear for everybody to see. And that's exactly why when I'm looking at people's takes on TikTok and I'm seeing that constantly, the people that have like no awareness at all, and no awareness of it at all, or they just feel like instantly it's Alondria and Shelly, I already know that they're racist. And I'm calling it like how I see it. I'm not saying you're confused. I'm not saying that you're unaware. You're racist, period. And if I've been really taking the time to look at non-black people's thoughts on this, and I would say at least 85% of them have racist takes. And that lets me know how much of a percentage of people of all races, even other quote unquote minorities or people of color, are also racist against black people. I saw one Middle Eastern girl. She does a whole bunch of takes where she understands that Huda was the problem. Her, and it's another guy. He's like Middle Eastern as well. He does take his takes or whatever. He says he just goes on what he saw. He is not on Huda's side. And I think out of those two people may be the only two. I haven't seen any white tea people yet with takes that are not full of racism. I haven't seen any Asian people with takes that are not full of racism. I haven't seen any more Middle Eastern people that don't have takes full of racism. I've been watching and looking. And once I saw all that, and I even seen biracial people as well with takes that are full of racism, I said, moving forward, I'm no longer giving any type of grace to anybody that does not have skin like mine. I'm really done. Like, I still used to, it's not that I would mammy and mule for other races of people, because I stopped trying to do that. Like, and when I say mule for people, I mean, like, if you're having like a discussion about race, like I would have racial discussions with other races of people. I stopped doing that years and years ago. And what I would do is I would give them information, links, and things like that to prove my point so they could be educated. I don't do any of that no more. And like years ago, I stopped doing that. And now I feel like internally, I'm done giving people mental grace that are not black anymore moving forward, because they're just too anti-black. And it's just so obvious that they do not see black women as human beings. Because there's no way, if you viewed black women as human beings, that you could have such a unreal reaction to a black woman just saying that she was upset with Huda by putting her face on George Floyd's body. Like, what would make you do some junk like that? What would make y'all be photoshopping their names and faces bald and putting monkey emojis and putting monkey emojis and ape emojis in the chat, like, of things where they're being discussed? I've seen all of these things. I just know that like I said, I already realized this, that black women are on an island alone. And black men are not there either because, as much as I'm talking about this conversation, there are so many black men that will go right along and get on their hands and knees and beg for a cookie too. So it's like black women are on their own island alone. And that's why it's so important for black women to stay on code. But it's so upsetting when there are so many black women that aren't willing to do that. Like I saw a black woman literally get on this app and say, I could, even if Hood said the N-word to my face right now, I would still dislike Shelly and Alondria for how they treated her. I sat there and watched another black woman say, oh, I could, Shelly's a monitoring spirit. I couldn't be her friend. I couldn't be friends with a woman like that, but I could be friends with a Hooda. You could be friends with a woman that is known to cuss out people and weaponize her tears and put her doggone near vagina on a man's face when she swear that is her so-called friend, and be jealous and compare you to everything she doing. You could be friends with a woman like that. Oh, okay. No, nobody treated Hoodie bad. You could totally tell that everybody was coddling that lady. And that's why I said to myself when I was watching it with my husband, I said that I personally could not be the type of black woman that would be on these shows, because I would be like Omarosa. Like y'all, I would just lean into it because y'all gonna hate me no matter what. Y'all gonna call me an N-word no matter what. Y'all gonna call me a monkey no matter what. Y'all gonna call me a nappy-headed ape no matter what. So let me just go ahead and express myself and not bite my tongue. I would have been saying, hey, yeah, let's talk right now. What you did, I don't appreciate it. I really don't like how you're weaponizing your tears against me. It makes me feel like I cannot say anything or do anything as a black woman. It feels like I'm in a box with a lock on it and I can't say or do anything for fear how I'm going to be perceived. So since you keep doing this, I would prefer if while we're, we just kind of keep a cordial but friendly distance from each other. I would have been and said that. I'd have been said, no, I know exactly what you're doing and I don't like it. I would have just had to say everything because I'm not about to, because the thing about it is that Shelly and Alondria bit their tongue. And what good did that get them? Nothing. They had to bite their tongue, let that lady be a menace in a villa, and then get out and still be treated racially, even though they walked on eggshells. So they still got treated the same way. So they should have might as well just said what they wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? For Hood's crazy, insane fans to make her feel like what she did is not wrong. Anybody can't see that lady is problematic. Anytime you have a breakup, the first breakup ever during the final date, you got to know that you're a problem. The fact that you had intercourse with not one but two men there and didn't leave with either of them, neither of them liked you afterward. That's a problem. That's a you problem, baby. Like, and the fact that you didn't waste no time. The next thing you popped up with another dude who I don't know this dude, but all I know is I was looking at TikToks and people say that he's problematic and that he runs through women. So you clearly don't know what you doing. But I don't know. It is really getting to a point to where it's like, I believe people are playing stupid, playing crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then the people that were comparing, I'm not even gonna say that because I'm not Asian to say what type of pain the C word holds for their community. I won't do that because that's out of pocket because I don't know. But I'll say that I know that everybody uses the N word with the hard R to degrade black people, and that is probably the strongest racial slur in all of the world. And nobody cares when people use that against us. So why should we care? Is all I'm gonna say. Why should we care? Yeah.
That's why I just be minding my business. Somebody say something or what have you, and they go off on an explosive rant or something, I'll just be minding my business. And then they always look at me and I'll just be like, I don't know what to tell you. Bye. Like, I've genuinely stopped caring. And I think that's a hard part for me, because it's like, you want to be caring towards people or respectful of people, but I absolutely know you would never do the same for me. And they're like, oh, you believe that it's transactional? Absolutely. Like, if I'm there for you, you should be there for me. It doesn't make any sense for me to continuously be there for you when you have done nothing to suggest that you even stand by my side. That doesn't make any sense. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different outcome. That's not how it works. You stick with yours and I'll stick with mine. Don't bother me. Like, that's pretty much it. We could be minding our business and all of a sudden somebody will come out the woodwork and try to patent us down. And that's the thing. They want to do that. And that's the sad part. But I'm like, at this point, no. Like, you're not about to do anything. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't really, because even when you stated that like the C word was placed like in the 90s, it was well before then. YT's ordained it like what, 40s or something like that. So like, and that was used for them to go into these, I don't even know if I can say that, but how you concentrate on something, but they had camps. And because it was especially Japanese people and things like that, they were just talking about and going through harming all Asians and sending them in little tiny spots. And when they would go by something, and that's why I always tell people, learn your history, because if you come here or if you're first or second gen, then you should know this thing about your history, because your people did stand up. Japanese people had a whole not riot, but they had a whole thing where they would take it to courts. Like, they would purposefully like break the laws that they had tried to set with like martial law type stuff. So, and they was like, no, I need to go to the Supreme Court. And they would fail, but it would come to fruition 30 to 40 years later. You know, if they would be set right by that time. And they still kept fighting like, hey, this and this and that. And that happens for Filipinos, for Koreans, for Chinese, for all of them. So that's why I'm always like, it's so crazy how you guys have been here or have come here and do not know the history. I don't know one place I've never been out of this country that I haven't learned their history. And I haven't learned their laws. I haven't tried to learn their language. I haven't learned how to, be respectful out in their country, because that's their country. But you come over here, disrespect the people of said country and the native, don't care about nobody else except for your own, and say, oh, we were taught this. Okay, well, I was taught the same things. I unlearned them. I taught myself. My grandparents, my mother and all that taught me, great grandmother. We go by word of mouth more than anything, but books are already out there. If you would have learned your history, you would have had more pride here. You would have said, oh, I deserve to be here because my great, great, great fought for this. That is why I'm second or third gen. That is why I'm still here, because they did this for me. So y'all acting like guests, and that's on y'all. Y'all like, oh yeah, can you please just this is mine. My people have fought for this. I deserve to be here. But y'all act like guests, and I can't help you with that, because this is my house. This is my home. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. I wish you would. So, whatever they want to do, that's good. That's cool with me. Just leave us out of it. Why do y'all continuously talk about it? Like, y'all are supposed to help. No, we're not. Like I said, I'm not your mammy. I'm not your mule. And I'm not your SLAVE.
I definitely agree. Let me go down here to Arsenio.
Hello guys. Yeah, I agree with the topic. That's a very interesting topic. I live in Belgium. I'm son of African parents, and I grew up in school. People telling that the Europeans went and civilized Africa, which I later understood that is a lie. And yeah, there's a lot of racism, there's a lot of oppression to just because of his skin color. If you growing up in a white country, you try to ignore it, you try to because you don't want to feel bad and you don't want to feel like excluded, right? I was the only black kid in my class always. But when you grow up, you start to see all the gaslighting. It's like you start to see all of the truth, and you're like, you guys really lying? This is like spiritual warfare, you know? And it's like they're siphoning our energy. They want us to care about them, but they don't care about us. So it's the same as, you know, SLA very, you know? And so but it's like a modern one, you know? So I encourage everybody, like every black person, to not care about what they think or what they do. We should really just be doing what we want to do. I don't feel bad because a lot of things in Europe is like when a whitey girl is it's like suffering, it's all over the news, right? But when it's like a black woman, right? Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like in Portugal, a black woman was just, you know, unalived. It's not on the news. It's only like people like me, right, that is sharing. And now we're doing protests, and was a whitey man who did that. Imagine if like was a whitey woman with a black man, you know. And I also don't agree when black men like want to date whitey woman. I'm very like my mom is black, my dad is black, and I think a lot of the anger that black women feel against black men is because of that. We gotta own that. I'm not saying that for you guys to like me, but it's true. We have a lot of problems in our community, but we should stay in our community and solve them. There's nothing wrong. They do that. Why are we trying to like force ourselves into their communities? They don't care about us. And if we stay sparse, we stay like we are like islands. We don't have that power. They are like a continent. They are together, but we are like islands. And we tend to hate each other because one thing about this stress is like when you stressed a lot, you're gonna find some place to put that stress. They block the stress to coming back to them. They stress us, but we cannot crash out on them because there's a lot of social rules. And for example, they call like an angry black woman, right? You don't have the right to crash out. So what will you
I'll give
do?
you one more minute, Arsidio.
Okay, so what will we do? You will like crash out to our own people. So a lot of the violence that happens is because of the environment that we are in, is not because we are violent people inherently. And it's like gaslighting, you know? It's a cycle that they want us to stay in. So yeah, we should not care about them. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. I got you. I got you. Yeah. So you guys, I I just want to say I don't know if if this live will get to as much people as I would like it to, but I really specifically would like black women to start putting themselves first, specifically. Um because oftentimes when we are undergoing what's happening right now, this, in my opinion, it's like a public lynching to me. I That's how I feel like it is when these things happen to black women. There are, if you look at black women, if you look at the loudest voices speaking up in defense of us, it's always a black woman, you know, and that should let you know who your number one ally is, even though there are still a lot of black women that don't stay on code that definitely need to be excommunicated out of the sisterhood. But at the end of the day, though, we are all we got. Like, seriously. And we've got to stay on code. And I think that we got to stop caring what they say or thinking that because we betray ourselves in one way, that's going to protect you. Because I think that if you didn't see how Alondria acted, very classy, very demure. I saw a clip of this white girl with some big old hot dog lips, and she got Lord knows what popped in them, talking about she didn't like Alondria and their interaction with her mom because they were talking about her swimming suits, and they were sitting there acting like they were all poised in together. Like, what? You don't want somebody to sit there and look poised and together. What did you want her to do? Say, hey, mama, how you doing? Where's the fried chicken at? What exactly was you looking for them to do? And that just lets you know right there that there are so many women of other races truly intimidated by the presence of a black woman. Because you sit there with Lord knows fix a flat in your lips and a BBL and fake boobs and fake everything, and you sitting there what Alondria has naturally, and you over here, you know what I'm saying, talking about you ain't like how the interaction between her and her mama. Like, like, and when you talk to these women, they don't even register it as racism. And that'll let you know how much anti-blackness and misogynoir is rooted and woven into the fabric of society, because they're not even aware sometimes that is exactly what they're doing. And this is not just America either. Just like that man came up here, he was just up here. I think he said he was from Belgium. You know, just like I think Kimmy's from the UK, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, sis. All of
Yes.
these, are you from the UK, sis?
Yes, but I'm Nigerian as
But you're
well.
Nigerian too. You see that everybody from all over still knows what's going on. It's happening everywhere. So I just want people to understand it's not just an American thing. It's not. Wherever black women are, black women receive this type of treatment everywhere. And that is actually horrific. And it's something that y'all can say what y'all want to say about black women, but black women are made of stronger stuff than any other race of woman, because this happens literally everywhere to us. And nobody cares. And people oftentimes, and I'm not trying to play the quote unquote oppression Olympics, but people will talk about indigenous people and talk about what they have suffered. And I'm not saying they haven't suffered a lot. I'm not even going to speak on that. I'll just say that people's response to the things that they have experienced is still met with more understanding and more compassion than anything that black women have gone through and go through currently. Like, there is still okay, yeah, I can see why that's wrong. Nobody sees why anything is wrong when it comes to black women. Nobody sees nothing wrong about people being mad about a reality TV show about two girls that did not bully a girl. Y'all have no record of them doing that. It wasn't shown, but y'all still feel comfortable calling them monkeys and disrespecting them and terrorizing them. Still saying crazy things in their comments, and the show is over. Crazy to me. Crazy, 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 wild, insane. And like I said, it really it just, it just let me know that, like, we just don't got no friends. And that's exactly why, like, I'm just not with this whole kumbaya. Like, you know how I see some black women get on the app and they want to have feminism conversations and they want to bring up white tea women. They got feminine conversations and they want to bring up Asian women. That I don't believe in doing that, because at the end of the day, when something happens to us, where are they at? Where are they at? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's all of them. It's a small percentage that want to help. Just like I forgot which one of y'all said that it's a scattering of them. But on the real, the majority of them are not doing it. And really, in my opinion, if y'all want me to keep it real, I believe it's 90% of them. 90% of them are not on our side. I believe it's 90% of them. 90% of them are not on our side. 90%. So if you put 10 of them in a room, 9 of them don't care. 9 of them have internalized anti-blackness. And of them have internalized anti-blackness. And unconscious, what is it called? Unconscious biases or whatever, or implicit bias, whatever you want to say, that 90% of them. And that's exactly why I just like Muhammad Ali said, like, you're telling me that there might be some good ones in there, but I see the snakes and you want me to look and see which snake is good, or should I just shut the door? And because I don't know which is good and which ain't. That's exactly the point that I'm at. Now, before I was like a little bit, like maybe just a little. Now it's just completely closed. Because the way these young women are being treated is so disgusting. Honestly, man. Y'all just trying to find any little thing to talk about these women. Like I said, how in the world y'all gonna get mad at Shelly because she didn't go up there and publicly eviscerate Sierra for the Asian community? In what world would the Asian community go on somebody's podcast and eviscerate a non-black person for black people? Never, 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 never. You would never see it. Never in your life see it. In what world would you see a white person going somewhere and eviscerating somebody? Oh my goodness, I'm so upset you said that about black people. How dare you? How dare you? I'm getting ready. Never. You wouldn't see it. 9 times out of 10, you would not see it. But anyway, let me go up here to Finding. Go ahead, Finding. You have something to say, sis? Let me send you a request to turn your mic on just in case you can't. You there, Finding? Well, she got her bars up though, so she might not be able to hear. Either of you ladies, did y'all have something to say? Deli or PhD?
Oh, I wanted to say, I feel like there's a competition with non-black women, a secret competition, because even Huda in the show, you could tell that she wanted to be Shelly. Like, it came out in the interview that she actually fancied Ace the whole time. Can you imagine? So the producers had painted out Shelly to be crazy, and like even the host was like, "Oh, Shelly, why you being insecure?" Like she was just good at her dancing, and she was pulling out her midnight ballerina moves on Ace because she actually wanted him. And it's like the producers had a massive part to play in this as well. And this is the first time a black woman has gotten hate from brands. This is the first time any islander has ever gotten hate for doing what? For clocking a crazy woman. I'm sorry. Huda is crazy. Like Huda is a racist anti-black woman who is in competition with black women. And she knows that she's not as desirable as Shelly and Alondria. And it's because of the way she carries herself. Like, you actually had Schmecks with 2 men that did not want you. And you've left your daughter to do this on an island. And she gets all this support. She has racial slurs of her saying the N-word out there. And it's like no other race, they don't care. They will push this woman to be the most followed islanders. And it's like, even in the black community, a lot of black women were on Huda's side. And I'm thinking, Huda would steal your man. Huda would take your man to a hotel room. Like, Huda is male-centered. And a lot of the women on the show are male-centered. That's why they couldn't even stand Alandria with Nick. Even though Nick's not the best, he's handsome and he treated her well on the show. And they couldn't take it. Even Sierra saying that, oh, um, you liked her the whole time. Well, yes, and you tried to use your coochie to get a man. And this is what happens when you're male-centered. Like, it doesn't end well. And Alandria and Shelley carried themselves with class. They didn't pull men. Men pulled them. Like, why are you chasing a man?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, PhD. Let me go here first to Finding. And then I
Hi.
go to Deli Poo and then Proud Black Woman. Go ahead, Finding. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? I'm sorry. This is my first time really speaking up. Usually I get online and I don't say anything, like I'll have conversations with my family, but for some reason with this Love Island season, I feel like the hate towards black women has been at an all-time high, and I feel like the world is just tired of seeing the narrative. Last season, oh my god, season 6, it was 2 black girls. They came in the villa together. The world loved it. And I feel like when they did it again with season 7, the world couldn't take it anymore. You and it was more so, why is the show painting, why are they starting off with 2 black girls who are gonna be best friends, and then you get what I'm saying? I feel like it's just, I'm so sick of seeing this. They always get, you know, well, not only that, when black people get on the show, we make everything more interesting, more fun. It's just more enjoyable. So I guess to see that again, the world hated it, and not the world as in black people, other races. You get what I'm saying? Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here, Finding.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like, unfortunately, Shelly and Alandria, they caught the heat because the world is just tired of seeing this narrative where two beautiful black women get on a show and they become friends, and then the world loves them, and they pull the guys that they like, and they're so interested, and then after being in the villa, the world loves them again, and then they're friends. I feel like they were tired of seeing that narrative. Like, I felt like it was like, what about two Middle Eastern girls starting together? Or what about two white girls coming on the show together? I feel like they're just jealous. They're jealous of that narrative. When I saw two black girls meet up again, I was ecstatic that this was happening again. But not a lot of people are.
Yes, I definitely agree with you, Finding, and I think that's a good point you made. I definitely agree. I think that people hate to see black women unified as well and loving each other,
Hate it.
and I definitely think that that plays a part too. And yeah. So let me go down here to Delhi and then Proud Black Woman.
Get on the topic that you stated earlier, that when you were talking about how I call them pally pops, but they want to sit there and say, hey, because I remember when this election and everything, when they're like, hey, we've always worked together and we've always done this and that. And then they always list a whole bunch of things that the black community has done for them. But it was never what their community had done for us. It was always like, well, you've helped us this long. How come you're not helping us again? Yeah, well, we popped out one day for this movement or what have you, because I remember it, especially in LA. I'm in California, but especially in LA, how they were literally using BOMBs to get out black single mothers or black neighborhoods, buildings, and things like that. So, and they're like, oh, yeah, this is my town now. This is my town now. And then on top of that, if you want to get on to BLM, how about you just get right into it? Because y'all was harassing the people there. Oh, this is LA or whatever you want to call yourself. But this is LA and this is my state or whatever. They were intentionally seeking out BLM protesters that were black. Like, if y'all really want to talk about something, talk about it in its entirety. So we've helped y'all for all this time, and none of y'all have helped us, but you say you got to keep helping us or else it's transactional. Duh, dummy. What are you going to give us? I'm going to blink at you twice. That's not what I care about. So it's just like, it's funny how they always say, you guys have helped us, you guys have helped us, or these movements that are started either by black women themselves or by black coalitions or black people in general, but nobody else. We went out of our way, because you could even state for Vietnamese people how Muhammad was like, oh, I'm not going over there to harm somebody when I'm being harmed here by somebody else, by white tees. Like, they're not my enemies. I'm not about to sit there and fight with people that I have no business fighting with. So, and they like publicly shamed him, but it doesn't matter what we do, even if because they like to sit there and say that this is only for classy people, or AKA white tea people. Or they like to classify things as, yeah, this is good because we are doing it. Everybody else gets shunned. But the thing is, they have made POC so comfortable and say, yeah, at least you're not like this black person. At least you're not like black people. It could be worse, but like now they're going through all of these things. But at first, I thought it was we complain too much. I thought it was we're exaggerating. I thought it really wasn't that bad. All of the little black girls going missing, all of the black women going missing, or men being unalived by either the cops or other people. All of this did not matter to you. They chose not to see it. And I remember seeing a comment, but she was talking about something else, or her exact words were meant somewhere else. And it was like lack of education. It's not a lack of education, simply because I was educated to a certain extent of what my mother and my grandmother and my great grandmother knew. But I took it upon myself to learn more about me, learn more about my history, learn more so I can have more pride. Because especially when you're dark skinned black woman, or a black woman in general, you get visceral disdain from other people. So I'm like, well, who am I? Trying to figure those things out. I learned to be proud of myself via me learning by myself. Or I look up things that I need to look up. It's not a lack of education. It is a lack of foresight, or even a lack of knowledge. You don't even want to know because they are comfortable. They're comfortable with where they are. As long as they down us and as long as they hype them up, they will be comfortable. And now they're no longer in this comfortable middle ground that they used to have. And that's what makes them want to attack. But who did they attack? Because I'll give you the Ukrainians. For example, they was getting messed up over there, and they still did a 180, turned around and said, Africans, black people. They got turned away, had to walk hundreds of miles to even get to the place, and was turned away, for the next place or next country. Like, people can be going through these things, and it's like your life is on the line, and yet and still you still choose racism. It's mind-boggling.
I definitely agree with you. I really, that's why I feel like I said earlier, that I really do believe that black women should only pour into black women, period. I don't think they should pour into anybody else. I don't think that and this may sound harsh, but I do believe that people are so used to black people being so forgiving and accepting and being disrespected and violated, and still standing up for the rights of others and saying, hey, this isn't right. Look at y'all disrespecting these other groups of people. It's not right. Us always continually mamming as a community for other races. I believe that we as black women should stop. Like, I believe that the only way that you can prove a point to somebody, or even show them that you were doing something, is to stop doing it. If you always do it, they'll never be able to appreciate your presence and appreciate what you were doing. So I think that black people should stop defending, you know what I'm saying, everybody. And when things happen against other people that are unfair, don't speak out about it at all. Don't say anything. Don't say anything unless it directly affects your sisters. And that's really how I feel, truthfully. And I don't believe that black women should do it for black men either, because black men are also part of the problem. Dogpiling on black women, disrespecting black women openly, encouraging other races to disrespect us and call us all type of names and do things like that. So I really feel like black women should stop doing it for anybody. I shouldn't see no black women online yelling at other people in defense of the Asian community. I just shouldn't see any black women online defending Huda and talking about Shelly and Alondria. If you do that, you're a complete goofball. Do you think that Huda and her people would be somewhere defending your black behind? No. Do you think that they would be somewhere defending your black behind against their own people? No. And that's the thing, is that black women and black men too seem to be the only people that don't realize that everybody else only supports their own. But for some reason, we want to be the Mr. and Mrs. Nice Guys that feel like we got to hold hands and uplift other people and protect other people that wouldn't even throw a teaspoon of water on us if we were on fire. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And when I see black women do that, like, honestly, I just be like, cool. I know this creator that's really popular named Courtney J. I saw her a few times. I liked a couple of her takes. I never followed her though, but she just would irritate me a little bit. But when I saw all the stuff that she was doing, I was like, oh yeah, you got to get blocked, Heifer, because what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why would you take your big platform with your big face and sit there and try to not be 110 toes down behind black women, but you call yourself a humanist or whatever stuff she be saying? It just makes me sick, honestly. And the reason why, it's not the total reason why, of course, anti-blackness is the number one reason why, but another reason why we as black women are not respected, because it's too many of us that are freaking mammies. Like, for real, stop mammying, bro. Stop it, stop it, stop it. But anyway, let me go up here to Proud Black Woman. Go ahead, sis, and hey, y'all, it's good to see you, sis.
Okay. Hi
Hey,
everybody. How you doing, Triggered?
pretty good.
Good. So I just want to preface this by saying, I never watched the show. I personally do not like watching
You ain't
shows
missed
where
nothing. You ain't missed nothing, sis.
yeah, I personally, I'm just speaking for me. I personally don't like watching shows where black women are competing for black men. I can't do it. But here's the thing. Even though I didn't watch the show, I really didn't have to watch the show because y'all kept recording and reposting the videos. So I already got an idea of what the show was about. And that's exactly why I didn't watch it, because I talk about that a lot on my platform about how black women need to stop being friends and trying to be cool with non-black women who date black men. I talk about that all the time because I've been around plenty of non-black women who date black men, and they're not your friend. They're not your friend. I don't know what black women don't understand about that. They are not your friend. They are in competition with you. And I know that from personal experience. I have been around plenty of YT women. Now, mind y'all, this was back in my early 20s when I didn't know any better. Okay. They will sit in your face and tell you all the horrible things that black men do to them. I want y'all to hear me very clearly. They will sit in your face and tell you about how the black man cheated on him and that her and her baby daddy won't help her with the kids. And there was a time I went to a white girl's house and her bed, blonde hair was all over her bed. This is a true story. This man had did whatever to her and he was pulling her hair out and her hair was all over the bed. And she was kind of on the edge of trying to call it grape, and then turned around and said, oh no, I'm not sure he did. I'm not sure that's what he did to me, but it was rough sex. And like, this is a real situation that I'm describing to y'all. Okay. Then me and this same white tea woman go to Walmart. And then after she done sat up here and talked to me about this black man and everything that he did to her, we go to Walmart, and the first black man that comes up to her, she got a smile on her face. So the point that I'm making is they will talk to you about all the horrible things that Tyrone does to them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as Tyrone picks them. I hope y'all following me. So it doesn't matter that black men don't treat them the best. The point is they love being chosen over you. And I learned that at a very early age from being around them. This goes for Latino women. I've been around a few Asian women. They all have the same mindset. They just want to get chosen. That's it. They don't care that the black man is going to treat them the same. The point is, I'm better than a black girl because he's going to choose me. So that's why I ain't watched the show. All the videos and stuff y'all was posting on here gave me everything I needed to know. Also, I want to mention, I don't know how many of y'all follow Crystal Crave. I absolutely love her. She made a video yesterday and she made a point. There's two black rappers who made a song with Huda in it. Like the song says something like shoulda, coulda, woulda. I need a girl that look like Huda. Has anybody heard that? And I'm just like, black women. The point that Crystal was making was black men, like y'all love ghetto-ness as long as it's not on a black woman. Like the same men that y'all continue to birth will turn right around and see how Huda, because clearly from what I gathered, Huda was treating black men on the show like trash, cussing them out, going off, crying. That's all the information I got, right? So she treated black men like crap, okay? But then these same black men turn around and put her in a song. So this is what I be saying about the black men, and that y'all supposedly want to support and love. If that was a black woman, would they have put her in a song like that? Like the fact that black men will turn around and put some trash like that in a song when you have all these beautiful black women? Like, they could have rapped about Alondria. They could have rapped about Shelly. And maybe some of them did. I don't know. Y'all tell me if y'all heard a song with Alondria's name in it. But the fact that black men will be in a rush to put a non-black woman in their songs should tell y'all everything you need to know about the collective of black men. It is embarrassing. And me as a black woman, I will never, there is never an earth that you can put me on. There is no planet alive where I will ever stand by the side of a non-black woman who dates black men and choose her. I will never sit by her side. I will always choose black women. I will always choose us. And I don't understand why black women are not getting that. The black women who are defending her, the black women who are acting like she is just, like I said, I didn't watch the show, but I don't need to watch the show. I got enough information about Huda to tell me everything that I talk about and say is right when it comes to non-black women who date black men. They are not your friend. They're not your friend, okay? They are in open competition with you. And this is why I say, if black women are going to be open to hanging out with women who are not black, hang with non-black women who don't date black men. You will be safer there. I've had more respect from white women who didn't date black men, because the moment they come in our community and they feel like, oh, because one thing they know, one thing Huda knew for sure is, in her mind, and which is why I heard she was going crazy on the show, because black men were actually rejecting her. That's what I kept seeing all online. Black men kept rejecting her. She ain't used to that, because in the real world, she already knows I can go into any hood, which I find it interesting her name was Huda, because I mean, it sounds like hood, right? She already understands that as a Mediterranean woman, whatever she is, I can go into any black space and a black man's gonna choose me just based off of me not being black. And I don't know why black women are not understanding what that means for you. What that means for you is, that's not your friend. Okay. She is in competition with you, heavy competition with you. And black women should only be protecting and supporting other black women, and stop openly putting other races of women above ourselves. That is something that black men do. Leave that to them. And I'll land there.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate what proud black woman said. I also was not aware of the rap song, and that is absolutely disgusting. But once again, that is not surprising at all. Like, we already know that, just like proud black woman says, there's nothing a black man likes better than a woman that has bad behavior that isn't black. Like, they will accept all of the bad behavior that they weaponize and try to say black women do all day. They will take it any way, shape, form, or fashion, as long as her skin is not black. And to the black women in the comments talking about they like Huda, I just want you to know that, respectfully, you are part of the problem. Honestly, this isn't about black men. This isn't about black men's preference. This is about you. And I wish that there would be a lot of black women that understand, as much as you can sit there and you can say, oh, black men, they prioritize these non-black women and they will be mistreated by them and they will do this, that, and the third. There are plenty of black women that are mammies, that are buck broken, that are something that rhymes with boon. And they do it because they want some type of acceptance from non-black women. I don't know what you expect to get, because just like proud black women said, they not your friend. The ones that pursue black men are not your friends. And then the ones that don't pursue black men, 90% of the time, they're not your friend either. So you getting up here talking about you like her, and she's actively being anti-black, is weirdo behavior, period. And I say, black women that do things like that, I don't trust you. I don't even look at you like a sister. I clicked on your profile. You follow me. Please hit that unfollow button. Unfollow me, babe. I don't even want your energy in my chat, because that is insane behavior. And that's the reason why black women constantly get their face played in, because no matter how somebody can be anti-black, they can weaponize their fan base against black women. They can clearly weaponize their tears to make people get on their side. Why knowingly silencing black women, they can get on a platform and not tell everybody and say, hey, I see y'all being racist towards my two black castmates that were always there hugging me, comforting me, consoling me. I'm not going to tell y'all to stop being racist. I'm just going to go ahead and lean into it and say that I was being bullied, even though I was the one cussing everybody out. Like, if that's the case and you want to get behind that and say you like that, there's something wrong with you. Period. And you keep mentioning men. This is not about men. I'm not talking about men at all. I'm talking about women, period. The fact that you, as a so-called black woman, can get up here and say that you like a non-black woman that is clearly being anti-black, there's something wrong, sis. Like, honestly, do you know what? Do y'all know the book Uncle Tom's Cabin? Like, you're being something that rhymes with Hambo. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's something wrong. And honestly, this is a big reason why black women don't get no freaking respect. Because as many of us are that stand on business, like the ladies that are up in this panel right now that have spoken, Miss PhD Kimmy, Miss Deli Pooh, Miss Proud Black Woman, myself, you got black women just being like, oh, you know what? Yes, I'm going to totally ignore everything that I see, the anti-blackness that I see, and I still like her. Because what you like her for? What did she do? She went on the show and had intercourse with two dudes, got cracked by two different men, didn't get chose by neither of them, ran both of the men off while behaving poorly, cussing, acting out of pocket with other people there in the villa. Then, before she even see her kid, she spotted out with a new dude that apparently is a womanizer that's got a bad reputation that's gonna play in her face too. So exactly what do you like? What is it about her that you like? Like, you know what I'm saying? That made you want to get in the chat and defend. Ew, ew, ew. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that there are some black women that really don't want to be black. And so they hold on and gravitate to non-black women that have bad behavior in the hopes that one day possibly they could be viewed like them. It will never happen. You will never be viewed like her. Ever. 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 Grace is given to everybody else except black women. It will never be you, baby. So you coming in here putting your super saver, Captain Saver whole cape on for Huda is embarrassing. And that's at the least, it's embarrassing. At the most, it points to a deep-rooted psychosis and self-hatred that can probably only be fixed with a deep medication. A whole host of medications that they're gonna give you to help your, your mental imbalance. But anyway, let me go up here to Eris. Go ahead, Eris.
Everything you just said was nothing but facts. Not one mile but told. Because not only the original hooded defenders are weird, but the black women who defend them, they have a special case of what I would like to call raccoonery. They got a special case of that. Because why are you sitting there defending that woman when that woman has done nothing but show her ass, her entire ass, on television, mind you, on national television, mind you. And yet we're expected to give her all the grace when we literally saw her allegedly, because we all know how the hood rats like to tussle. Allegedly tried to coerce a black man into relations with her, and when that black man did not receive her, she did the white woman. It's giving white woman scared, and she did the white woman tears, and we're supposed to give that person grace. But yet when
I'm sorry,
Kelly,
Eris. I'm sorry, Eris. I gotta interject real quick. I just want to respond to somebody in the comments. Dag, where did you just go? Sis Mia, who says having this convo and not everybody being Black American is crazy. Well, I will say that I'm Black American, and I know Proud Black Woman is Black American. Right now, the only thing that we were talking about is the racism that Black women face, which is everybody faces, every Black person across the globe faces anti-Blackness. But if it was a conversation to where we were directly talking about Black Americans in some way, then yes, I would center it around Black American people. But at this particular juncture, I didn't feel like I needed to separate it by people where they are. But I'm very aware of things like that and the nuances and the differences and depending on where we are, Mia. But just right now, I felt like, just like it is with Love Island UK, the women are treated badly just the same way. And, and they receive microaggressions and all of that, the same difference. So all I'm saying is that absolutely, in this particular instance, this discussion, I feel like everyone can be included as long as you're a Black woman. Now it would be different if you were speaking on something that directly related to Black Americans, but that's not going on. Everybody's being like real respectful. I think Deli Pooh is Black American too as well. Sorry, I think I didn't mention her. So yeah, so I don't know what you're saying, Mia, but I feel like you just said that kind of to just give some type of negative energy to the conversation. But you're more than willing to come up if that's not the type of time you're on. But go ahead, Eris. I'm sorry about cutting in on you.
No, this is real live. I'm not tripping about it. But she did try to check somebody, and then when no, you can't check me, boo. Stay in your bum ass place. Don't try to check me. Check yourself. Anyway, like I said, back to the conversation. Um, yeah, we're not giving grace to people who don't deserve it, and Huda does not deserve grace. She does not deserve our grace. She doesn't deserve our sympathy. She doesn't deserve our understanding. Because when she could have stepped in, and not at the last minute, mind you, because when she did step in, it was at the last minute when she was getting called out for it. He could have stepped in immediately when Shelley and Alandria were experiencing the microaggressions and racism from her disgusting hood rats. But instead of doing that, she waited until it was convenient for her. And that's, again, I can't get behind people like Huda because they'll never take accountability for their actions. They'll never take accountability for their wrongdoing. They're always the perpetual victim. And then the actual victims of the conversation, Shelley and Alandria, of her fan base, of her disgusting fan base, when they're actually victimized, everyone goes, see, that's what the mean girls deserve. Are they mean or are they not letting you play in their face? Are they mean or do they have strong boundaries and they're not gonna let you cross them?
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Eris. Let me go down here to Maya. Go ahead, Maya.
Hi,
Hey,
okay.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You good?
Okay. So my argument is that like we can't be the world's like moral compass if the world ignores our pain because like for number one, like when you said why are Black people supposed to take racism against other races seriously when no one cares when it is us? My point is that like Black people, especially like Black women, are always asked to be the bigger person in situations, especially on Love Island, like to march, to post, and to speak up for like every community. But like when racism hits us, it's like very silent and like no one seems to care, which is something I really do agree on. And for number two, like one of my key points for when it comes to Black women have deep struggles with being accepted, even in dating, I feel as if Black women, like people do think Black women lack beauty when it comes to them being accepted into Love Island, which is a big problem for me. And I really hate that because they always like paint a picture that they're masculine and that they don't fit up to a certain standard that most people like Huda like fit into. Like Alandria and Clark, they were going around calling her a man or calling them a man because of their features, because of their Black features, which is something I really don't roll with and something I hate, to be honest. And also, lastly, they're very like stereotypical when it came to Alondria and Shelley, even though Huda did the exact same things Alondria and Shelley did in the show. Because like Black women are often categorized as stereotypical or stereotyped as loud and aggressive or too strong. And these labels are usually like used to dehumanize us, especially on like Love Island and stuff like that. So that's basically all I had to say.
Okay, sorry about that. I had to unmute myself. All right. I wanted to ask user 7336, who you said you would suggest that Black people. Are you Black? Are you Black, user? Send me you can get I sent you a request, an invitation to get in the box, because that's the first thing before I respond to anything that you have to say, that you're saying in the chat. I want to know if you're black. If you can send me a request, you got 10 seconds to accept it, or I'm just going to block you from the chat. Because honestly, I'm real tired of people telling black women how they should respond and what they should do to being disrespected constantly. If you're not black, I'm really not trying to hear your perspective or your thoughts on it because you're not affected by it. If you're not a black woman, you're not affected by it, period. So why in the world would I care about what you have to say? But I can't speak for anybody else on the panel, like I said, but I am saying this again, that I believe that black women should stop defending, stop protecting, stop mammying for all of these other races of people. There should be no reason why you as a black woman should put up your camera and sit there and make a take where you're defending Huda at all. What the is wrong with you? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be making your camera where you're defending black men. You shouldn't be making the camera where you're defending any demographic of people, because ask yourself, where are those people when you're in need? Where are those people when a fellow black woman is violated, disrespected, beat the brakes off of, unalived, raped, essayed, or any of those things? Where is the support for you, sis? There is none. And if there are people speaking up about you, most of the time, the people that are speaking up about you are other black women that look like you. So why would you fix your lips to get on these apps and try to defend anyone? I don't care if you think it's wrong or right how they did Huda. If you think it's wrong or right how they did Shelly. If you think it's wrong or right that Shelly used the word against the Asian community. Ask yourself, when is the Asian community standing up as a whole against people using the N word with the hard R? Never. They're somewhere doing K-pop, culturally appropriating you, or somewhere in China and Japan getting those pipe things and put it in their hair to make their hair into 4C hair so they can walk around and be a caricature of you. So I'm just here to say, stop doing it. That's the reason why we never have any respect, because they know that they can treat us the worst way, play in our face, call us monkeys, call us apes, not do anything, pretend that they don't see what's happening to us. And then you'll still be like, oh, well, what about the other communities? I'm a black woman. I can't watch that happen. Like, what? Ew. Like I said, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. But let me start. I need to go down here and let Sincere speak, and then I'll start back at the top and we'll get Proud Black Woman. Go ahead, Sincere.
Amen to that. Watching this whole series and then watching online, and also just all of the fallout since the show has concluded, I'm not surprised. Like, once again, I'm a woman of a particular age, and I've always known this about YT women, and in particular women who are also of quote unquote exotic looks like Huda, because Huda felt like she was this glamazon who every man who was in that village should have been just worshiping at her feet, and she should have had the pick of the litter. And because particularly with her and Chris and how she behaved with the whole pancake situation, waffle pancake situation, it was crazy work. And I seen that, and the fact that when she went on the podcast, call her daddy. Once again, Addison Cooper did what YT women always do. You create this, fake illusion that Huda was bullied by Shelly and Olandria. I'm like, wait. What show did y'all watch? Because where was the bullying? I seen Huda freaking flip her crap when she didn't get the attention from the men that she felt like she should have had all the attention from, period. And I just want a lot of black women to realize this, especially you younger black women, to realize this. Like you said, y'all get up on these apps and windmill for women like Huda who would never, I mean, never do that for you. This is why I had made a post a couple days ago about how feminism never served black women. And we never were included in that. When you can go all the way back to the women's suffrage march, and how black women who did a lot of footwork and carried that movement on their backs were treated by those same YT women who wrote down the history as the mother of modern, fighting for the vote. No, they didn't. They just didn't want. They hated that white men gave black men the vote before them as white women. Read it. Susie B. Anthony talked mad crap to white men about giving black men the right to vote before them. Never included black women in any of that. And even in today's society, a white woman will literally use her tears, lie on a black woman, and they always try to make us out to be angry, bitter, the bitter black woman trope has always been the thing that's been put on us. We're angry, always put on us, no matter what. We're the bully in the room. Even when we're quiet, we're even in our quietness, we're being disrespectful. We can never do right by any of these people. So stop. Stop. As the host said, please stop caping for these people. Save yourselves, because they will never do that for you, young ladies. I promise you they won't. Corporate America, even inside, I work in the healthcare field, even in healthcare, these people will always have it out for you. If they feel like you're a threat to what they're trying to do, they will step on your back. They will try to crush you in any kind of way. Like I said, these could have thought back. They will try to crush you in any kind of way. Like I said, these could have thought that her looks was supposed to put her at the pick of the litter, and she did not get that. And because Orlandria became the darling of the show, she felt some type of way. And these YT women, they felt some type of way. Period. They don't like that whole Nicolandria thing. Why? Why is this white male giving so much attention to this black woman? And they didn't like that. And anytime a black woman is displayed in a positive light, and she's given love and affection and treated with respect by any man, and particularly a white male who they consider as somebody of substance, oh baby, don't never do that. You have violated their idea of who you are. You're supposed to be the mammy to them. You're supposed to always be that trope to them. So I encourage you all to always never let these bird brain broads think that they have ever had a come up off you, or you are supposed to be subservient to them in any kind of way. Because we are the culture, we are the moment, and we will always be there. And they'll always be trying to come up with something to belittle us as women. I don't even care about what these people have to say anymore, because it doesn't matter. But the way they have demonized these young women from that show, especially women of color, I'm not surprised.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, sis. Hold on, let me block this person in the chat. Okay, hold on. All right, all right. Go ahead, proud black woman.
Hey, first of all, she said a whole word, like
Yes, she did. Yes, she
let the
did.
church say amen, sis. Thank you. Not a lie was told. I want to piggyback off of what you said, Triggered. You talked about how black women need to stop, running in the defense of non-black women like Huda. And I also want to remind black women to stop running to the defense of preferences when they're going through things with black men. Okay, so what I mean by that is black men who are, dating out, and then something bad happens to them, like they get into a situation with her, she yells grape or whatever. Black women, you need to mind your business. That has nothing to do with us. At the end of the day, look, white women have been having this hold on black men since Emmett Till. Do you understand me? Like, and I'm gonna say this respectfully. Emmett Till was 14 years old, and this is not about him, but I'm just gonna bring up a point. I don't know about y'all, but I was very smart at 14. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but come on now, we was very smart at 14. You're not finna convince me that Emmett Till didn't know that, you probably, I don't know. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he didn't. The point is, when everything came out, there was family members that say he did. Who knows? The point is, there were still black men back in Emmett Till's time who was still trying to get with white women. We can go back to Black Wall Street. Do y'all know why Black Wall Street was burned down? This is why I say we need to read our history, black women, so you can understand how long this self-hatred that black men have had for us. Go back and read what happened to Black Wall Street and what made it first get torn down. It was a black man who entered an elevator with a white woman knowing damn well he shouldn't have. He was supposed to go around the back to man who entered an elevator with a white woman knowing damn well he shouldn't have. He was supposed to go around the back to use the restroom, but he wanted to take his chances. And these are the chances that black men have always taken just so they can get a little closer to the white woman. And when them white boys found out that he was in that elevator and that white T woman went and yelled and said he tried to grape her or whatever, that's when Black Wall Street, all that shit got torn down, y'all. That's how it started. Let's be very clear about that. So I say that to say this. Black women, when you in this, and I know this is gonna be hard for some of y'all. I'm talking about your brothers too. I'm talking about any black man who is out here putting other races of women above the women who look like you. It is time for us to stay out of those situations. Stop coming to the rescue of those men. They know what they're getting into. This is the thing that irks me about a lot of black men. They will go outside the race knowing the risk, knowing that the moment. I just saw a video and I'm finna post it on my page today. Y'all, I just saw a video of a fine white tea woman. She had a nice body, so I know why he was with her. This woman, he's sitting here recording her, y'all. She got her 9mm and everything. She going off on him. It didn't sound very fit and feminine to me. This white tea woman was going off on him and about ready to take his life. Okay. And he's recording all this. And then when you get to the end, she starts crying those little white tea woman tears that they like to cry. Oh, I don't know why you're making me do this, Tyrone. Baby, that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I laugh. It's funny to me. Because black men, these are the women that they continue to put on a pedestal, y'all, in front of us. And then the moment that woman turns on them, the first person they want to come and help them is black women. You want black women to come and save you. I'm not saving no black man from his preference. I need y'all to hear me very clearly on that. I'm not saving no black man from the woman that he chose, from the woman that he took the chance. You took that risk because you told yourself that she was better. You told yourself that she didn't have an attitude, that she wasn't capable. We have been seeing how dangerous white tea women are since the beginning of history. So for any black man to still be thinking that these women will not turn on you is crazy to me. And I think we need to start there. Stop defending black men from these women. When they go down, mind your business, black women. Go get your hair done. Go get your nails done. Take care of your kids. Go get something to eat. That's what you need to do as black women. That ain't got nothing to do with us, because that is the women that they chose. And as they continue to go through this with non-black women and they realize that black women are no longer saving them the same way we didn't save Telvin Osborne. We were, I don't know if y'all noticed this. The past 2-3 years, black women have been on code with those two black men that went to another life behind them white women. The first one, Christian Obumseli, y'all remember when she was beating him up? We stood on code. Black women finally got on code. We need to continue to stay on code when these situations happen to black men. So I will land there.
All right, proud black woman. I appreciate you. I think Maya wanted to ask a question. I don't know if she wanted to ask it to you or not, but go ahead, Maya.
I wanted to ask. I wanted to know if they should apply to black men when it comes to black women dating white men too. That's all I wanted to ask.
Okay, so let me answer that. That's a good question. So here's the thing. We cannot compare black men dating out to black women dating out. Number one, black men have never protected us. So I don't expect black men to protect me even when I'm with another black man. You understand that? Black men don't protect shit. So it doesn't matter who a black woman is with. Black men do not come to our protection regardless of who we're with. So you can say it applies to both, but at the end of the day, black women do not go outside the race because we hate ourselves. We don't sit on this app all day long talking about we don't like black men because of their dark skin. We don't like black men because of the way they treat us. That's why we have an issue with the majority of black men. It has nothing to do with how they look. Black men are the most attractive men to me, and I've dated all races of men. They are still the most beautiful men on earth. It is their character that is shit. And you seem to look like a dark-skinned woman, so they tear you down the most. Let's be very clear about that. So we don't have the same reasons for going out the race that black men do. Black women are going to where we are going to be loved and protected. That's where we're going. And when you compare, you can't really compare the rates of YT men, right, that are just disrespecting black women the way that black men are going through it with YT women. It's not the same. We can look at Serena Williams and her husband doing great. He stayed talking about his family online. We can look at Lauren Speed, the one the who was on what was it, Love Is Blind. Her and her husband, they having a baby right now. We can look at Tiki Sumter. They're not having issues with the YT men that they're with. Okay, but we can look at the Kardashians and we can look at how all of them are baby moms, except for who? Kendall, because Kendall ain't got no kids. So it's not the same. And I would never, as a black woman, depend and expect black men to come to my rescue. Black men don't even come to their own rescue. So it's not the same. If you in that mindset, Maya, I would suggest that you unlearn that, because it's not the same.
I wanted to say something. When having conversations, I think if anybody follows me, I always like to have give some part of the conversation to where it's like where we can actually have something tangible, or I guess something that's rooted in like logic or fact based. That way people can't debate it. I think one thing that we could do to prove proud black women's point of this is to simply look at the fruits of what comes from a black man and a white woman union versus a black woman and a white man union. The most confused, delusional, self-hating, racist, biracials that you will ever come across are products of a black male and a white woman. The ones where you have the white tea mothers calling their biracial daughters and their biracial sons the N word, and letting their hair be all over their head and not teaching them how to comb it properly, not even taking the time to learn it, even though YouTube can give you all of the information that you need. Is those unions are 95 to 97% black men and white women. So that should let you know that the idea of who's dating out for what reason is rooted in self-hatred, which is the reason why that same hatred and self-hatred is passed on down to their biracial children. I think that's the number one thing. And even if you look at who is available in the black community, there are, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a black woman, but there are plenty of educated, intelligent, beautiful black women that have something going on for them that are not in the prison system and all of these things for black men to choose from. However, it's not the same thing when black women have a choice to make. There is a very small pool of eligible black men for black women to choose from. So if a black woman is really about that life and she really does want to find a partner, then for her best option is not to, I'm not saying that she has to X out black men completely, but her best chance of success is to open up her mind and to entertain other races as well, so that she has a higher percentage of finding a man that is equally yoked with her that she can find. So there is always going to be a difference in a separation when it comes to black women dating out versus black men dating out. That's just what it is. And when you see all of these black men that come up and say that here's like the NBA, NFL player that said, here's a toast to light skinned babies and more light skinned babies, as they were all sitting there with white women. You know what I'm saying? Those type of behaviors, where do you often see that type of behavior from? It's not from black women that date white men or date other races of men. Those are normally from black men that are self-hating, because their main choice and reasoning in getting a non-black woman is not because they're desperate, they can't find anyone in the community that will love them and accept them, because plenty of black women still mammy for black men to this day will be a black man's doormat. So it's not that they can't find those women, it's just that they don't want to, because they are rooted, their decisions are rooted in self-hatred and also erasing themselves and the part that they hate, which is their blackness. So hopefully that makes sense to you, Maya.
Yeah, I do want to come out and say that I don't agree with the question I asked. I wanted to see if anyone felt differently. But I do agree that like the reason why black men usually date white women is because of self-hate. I just wanted to see if anyone disagreed. So
Okay, all right, I got you, sis. Let me go down here to Gabrielle. So that yeah, because Gabrielle's next. Hey, Gabrielle.
Yeah, thank you. So just to preface, I haven't really watched Love Island. Like, I haven't seen a single episode, so I don't really know much about the individual characters. I will say I do agree with what you were saying about like we shouldn't basically like go out on a limb and be online advocating for people who wouldn't do the same for us. I mean, I 1000% agree with that. The most I know about Huda is that I saw like some video of someone critiquing her, and there was basically, I guess she was asked a question about some of the other people or some other woman on the show, and she said something to the effect of like, oh well, if I don't like her, or if I'm not hating her, then other people shouldn't hate her. I think it was something like that, and I did see her getting called out for that. But beyond that, I'm not like, I have not, like I said, I haven't watched Love Island, so I'm not super familiar with it. But I did just also want to say, I think someone mentioned feminism, and they said, oh, feminism was never for Black women or BW, and I don't agree with that, because at the end of the day, feminism is why we can have bank accounts, is why we can get loans, own property.
Gabrielle, I'm sorry, sis. I just had to interject real quick. I just
Okay.
wanted to respond to Dakota in the comments. Dakota says, I feel that we should take our racism seriously despite others hate. Why stoop to their level? First of all, Dakota, you're not Black. So number one, your opinion on anything that we're discussing right now is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. That's number one. Number two, the reason why black people, or Black women more specifically, shouldn't take racism seriously against other races is because it's never taken seriously when it comes to us. And why do we have to continuously be the bigger person and turn the other cheek? You get what I'm saying? Y'all want Black people to constantly be those type of people that sit there like they did back in the civil rights sit-ins, sit there and let people call them the N-word with the hard R and get ketchup and mustard squirted on them in order to make people see their humanity. No. If you don't see a Black person's humanity or a Black woman's humanity in 2025, then you're never gonna see it. And what do I look like doing anything for you? Period. So once again, I don't care about indigenous people. I'm going to tell you this respectfully to your face. I do not care. Just like you came up here and felt like you wanted to interject yourself and tell Black people why they should continue to mammy for other races of people, I'm telling you, you're an enemy too. I don't care about you. I don't care what you go through. I don't care about what you got going on. Go over there to where your people are and tell them the reason why they should get on their hands and knees for white tea people, as white tea people continue to play in their faces and push them further and further on the reservations and build stuff and break up stuff over there. You go over there and tell your people that, okay? And you're the last person that needs to say that, seeing as though y'all are the only group over here besides the Shmuish people that have received some type of reparations for the harm that has been caused and done to y'all. We have received nothing but somebody's butt to kiss. So you coming up here saying that is not only tone deaf, it's ignorant, it's rooted in anti-Blackness, and it's absolutely disgusting. And you're no friend of mine. And what you're about to do is receive this block, because I'm about to block you. Go ahead, Gabrielle. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. No, like I said, I do agree. I definitely agree that like we shouldn't really be bothered with other people who aren't going to advocate for us. But I just do think conflating that and saying that like feminism is not for Black women. Like I was saying, like being able to own a bank account, being able to like all the stuff I mentioned, whether it's loans, like all of that is because of feminism. And so I do think that positively helps us as BW. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know I heard someone mention that about feminism not being for BW. But like I said, I don't watch Love Island, so I don't know. But I definitely agree with like the greater point that you were making about basically not mammying and not like going above and beyond for people when it's not reciprocal.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I just, that it's crazy to me because that is always pushed on Black women to be the bigger person, to, let somebody spit in their face and stand there all poised and proud while the saliva drips from their cheek, and to be disrespected and call out of their name and all of these other things. Is really disgusting and disgraceful how everybody expects Black women to take on everything while receiving nothing at the same time. And Clip Lord, let me block you, because if you're not willing, you talking about you a bag chaser and a hit maker with 443 followers, following 253 people. Please shut your goofy up. All right? Honestly, get the fuck out my live. You ain't no bag chaser with no 400 freaking followers. Get out of here. Let me block you. Get lost. As I was saying, people expect Black women to be the bigger person against their own interest, against their own self-worth, their own everything. And for me personally, I'm tired of it. I believe that Black women wholeheartedly have got to start being selfish and start centering each other, period. I really believe that we should be putting each other again above everybody, being Black women over everything. That means strengthening our sisterhood, standing up for each other, loving on each other, all of that. Because I don't understand how you can't be a Black woman in 2025, no matter where you live, and see how we are treated across the diaspora and not say, hey, you know what? We need to only be about us, because at the end of the day, nobody cares about us but us. And that's all I gotta say. I think Sincere said that she has something to say real quick, and then I'll go here to Deli Poo and Kimmy. Go ahead, Sincere.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to clarify something with Gabrielle. I did not. What I'm saying, what I was trying to say about feminism did not help Black women, in particular with our plight. Yes, everyone was given, and that happened in the '70s. So a part of the womanism movement, which was done up under the banner with Sister Angela Davis and the women from the Black Power movement. They fought just as hard. So y'all, you can't stop giving credit to these white women like Susan B. Anthony, who were a part of the suffrage movement, who coined the term feminism, because their idea was only an idea of white women being able to be served by their white husbands. Their whole idea was that they wanted to be propped up as being the ultimate being of feminism. It wasn't about being able to work hard and being able to have a bank account. They didn't give a flying flip about that. They never wanted to go to work. Why you think in the South, they literally made laws to keep black women be serviced when their husbands joined the military and were getting checks, and they didn't have to work and be in their houses and serve them food and wash their laundry. These white women went to the courts to make Black women have to come and work for them. See, this is what I'm talking about. Please do a little bit more deep dive into what the feminist movement really was. It ain't never even wanted to incorporate Black women. It really was about white women.
Sincere, I think Gabrielle wanted to respond to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Obviously, I'm not saying that, like, when feminists, I'm not saying that every white feminist from the 60s or 70s, I'm not saying like, oh, they were centering BW, but I'm saying at the end of the day, the end result is we can have bank accounts, we can travel, like with my grandmother, she could not even open, she couldn't even get a fishing license without my grandfather's approval. And like in the past year or so, I've learned so much about what my grandmother went through. I've had, I have an aunt who's like in her 70s. She's told me like, oh, if your grandmother was alive, she would be so proud of, your independence and whatnot. So I hear what you're saying about feminism, but at the same time, it doesn't really negate my point that at the end of the day, feminism is why we, have rights and, can get paid for the work we do and choose jobs and, not be forced to, be under a man's thumb. So I hear what you're saying. I just don't think it negates my point about feminism,
I don't think it negates
hold on,
it,
you guys.
Gabriella.
Hold on, you guys. Just 1 second. I wanted to respond real quick. I'm sorry, you guys, to somebody in the comments. NGE33950 says everyone has an issue with us, but unfortunately it does start within. We got to fix our community. First of all, I just want to say that is respectfully one of the dumbest comments that I've ever read, at least this year. Actually, totally stupid. Number one, people always talk about the Black community, fix the Black community. Black women are doing the best that they can with what they have to do their part in the so-called fixing of the Black community. The majority of the problems in the Black community are caused by Black men. You talk about the crime, you talk about the single mother rate, you talk about the incarceration rate, you talk about the literacy rates and lack of education, you talk about any of these things, and it leads right back to Black men. And I think that this is a part of where I wanted to say, because Black women are used to always hearing something bad about themselves. They're the worst of this, they're the worst of that, but nobody ever pours in and says, hey, Black woman, hey, Black girl, hey, Black sister, you're doing something right. So let me say this today. Black women are the most employed race of women in the United States of America. Black women are the most educated race of women in the United States of America with the most completion rate. Black women are one of the largest groups of entrepreneurs in the United States. Black women are one of the largest groups of fastest growing groups of homeowners in the United States. Fastest growing groups of pew pew owners, which means that black women are taking their safety and health seriously. Black women also have like not their lifetime their lifetime expectancy is not that bad. It's going up. Black women are the least incarcerated race of women in the United States. White teen women are actually incarcerated the most. Black women are doing the birth rate for black women and the age of black women when they become black mothers has gone down. The age when they become a mother has gone up and the birth rate has gone down. Black women are doing plenty. They are doing the best that they can to fix the community that they are only 50% a part of. So please get out of here. If you want to come somewhere and talk about who should be fixing a black community, you need to go somewhere and start talking to black men. That's that goofy and that's that goofy stuff that I do not approve of. That's the reason why there are so many black women that have low self-esteem right now. Because as people always talk about bad, 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 black women bad, black women bad, black women bad, without ever acknowledging what we do right. That is what should have came out of your lips. All right? What we are doing correctly. Okay? So get out of here with that self-hatred BS. I don't know if you're a woman. I don't know if you're a man because the picture that you have, I can't tell. But I just want to tell you, yes, absolutely. The blame game, the blame, the shame that you put on black women for what they experience is going to stop. And I truly do believe that we as black women could soar to the highest heights, higher than the heavens, if we would stop taking the blame and the shame of things that we are not doing. Just perfect. I'm gonna be real quick. I just saw a post on Instagram yesterday where they were talking about the crime in the black community. And all these black men were like, yeah, what's wrong with the community? What's wrong with us? Why we keep, I said, what do you mean us? Us who? Us who? It's not us. It's black men doing this. What are you talking about? Because he was talking about how he's afraid when he goes out and he got to be strapped up and make sure that if somebody have an issue with him, he don't have to pop them. I said, you're not talking about popping black women, sir. You're not talking about being afraid of black women, sir. You're talking about black men. So put the shame, put the blame where it rests, where it is supposed to be on, not black women. And the fact is that there are so many brain dead black women that will come and do the same thing. Well, we got to take accountability. Accountability for what? For what? We're doing better than black men on all levels. So what are we doing? You go spit that bush to them. Okay? Yeah.
No, that's
But
so
let me
true,
go.
sis.
What? What did you say?
I would just like to add to that everything that you listed, every statistic that you listed is also one of the reasons I'm married to a white man. I've been married to black men and I am married to a white man now. And people are always curious as to why black women and white men have such a high marriage success rate. And my husband and I have had this conversation many times. And I'm telling you, all the things that you listed, all the improvements that black women have, all of those that you read, I was just sitting here like clapping and smiling the whole time. And I'm like, that is why our success rate is high. Because also being so up close and personal, being married to a white man, I also see how white women in their community put a lot of the blame on white men. The same way that we get it in our community, but it's the opposite. We have a lot of times everybody putting the blame on us and everybody else hides their hands. And well, and that's why also I'm very weird too about the younger black women getting too hooked into their feminist movement, because a lot of times white women are doing so much more dirt, so much craziness, so much evilness that we don't even know about because we don't read about them historically. They throw rocks and they hide their hands. And the reason why black women and white men have such a high success rate is because we're really the only two people, like in our respective communities, we're the ones doing all the work. We're the ones doing all the work, but we get the blame for all of the bad things. White women don't have to do anything in their community. They do little to nothing, and they complain and complain about white men all the time. But if you look at the history of their community, everything that white men do and have done has been for them. It has been for their betterment. It has been so they can live a soft life. It has been so that they don't feel scared. It has always been to protect them. It has always been to make sure they have these cushy lives. And so now that they're bored because their lives have been so cushy for so long, it's like, oh, well, I want to work now. Oh, men are terrible. No, you don't think men are terrible. You just want to take their spot. You want to be the new oppressor. I don't believe in their movement one bit. I don't think it benefits Black women. Their movements are never intersectional. And I think younger Black women need to be very, very careful of getting sucked into that. But everything you said, applause all around. I've enjoyed listening to this morning. And no, everything you're saying, 100% yes.
Okay, all right. Gabrielle wanted to respond to the executive, so I'm gonna let her do that, and then I got to get to Deli and Kimmy because they've been waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Triggered. Yeah, I mean, the executive, I definitely hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, you really can't deny the fact that feminism is why you can have a bank account. You mentioned, it seemed like you were denigrating women wanting to work. I mean, feminism is why you can get paid for your work. Yeah, obviously, BW Black women, we've always worked, but there was a time where we were not able to get paid for our work, or we couldn't, start our own businesses and, have bank accounts or seek business loans. All of that is because of feminism. So yeah, we can definitely have a conversation about, the people or the women who started feminism, what were their motivations. But at the end of the day, the end result of feminism does objectively benefit BW, and there's just no way of really getting around that. So I don't understand, this hostility towards feminism when, whether you admit it or not, you as a woman benefit from it regardless of who you're married to. Feminism is why, you mentioned that you were previously married. Feminism is why you were able to get a divorce from your previous husband. So I don't understand this hostility towards feminism. Like, you can absolutely say that BW should not be mammying and, getting involved in other people's issues when they run into problems. 1000% agree with that. But I don't understand segueing this into, this like really anti-feminist
Well, you've
attitude.
said that a few times. I'm
Okay,
not
hold
understanding what else you want us to
on.
thank them for.
Hold on. The executive, were you done, Gabrielle?
Yeah, I was done. Yep.
Okay. Before anybody says anything, I just want to say this because I seen some people in the comments and they were talking about how white men are problematic too. I can't speak for the executive. You know what she said about her white husband, which is great. I'm here for Black women finding love in whichever way that they want. The only thing that I ever have had an issue with when women mention like their white husbands or a non-Black husband or even a Black husband is that I just want Black women to be aware that the color of someone's skin is not an indicator on whether they're going to treat you right or correctly. With the history the historical context and the historical history of white men experimenting on us, graping us, unaliving us, lynching us, hanging us from trees and cutting the babies from our bodies and stomping on them. I just feel like there's no way in the world that I would ever be on point with somebody making it like, oh, the white man is the way to go. The white man is going to treat the Black woman so great and fantastically, because statistically that is not the case. White men still marry inside, overwhelmingly so. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 77%. And the most highest people that they date out and marry is like white Hispanics and Asian women. If I'm not mistaken, it's not Black women. So I just want any Black women to know that if you are on a path of looking for love, yes, absolutely keep white men in mind, but also keep other races of men in mind as well. Once you start thinking that the white man is your savior, or you're gonna have a great outcome just because he's white, that's when you are actually transforming into a Sambo, just like these Black men are. And I just can't get with that at all, because that's literally insane for you to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. And this isn't to
Well,
say
I hope you
that you
didn't get
shouldn't date
that
out.
from my
If you could
comment.
stop interjecting on me, executive, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't know you.
Okay,
This is the
girl,
first time you
bye.
ever been on here. Yeah, you can have a great day, because I don't play like that. You don't tell me girl bye on my own page. I'm so sorry that I offended you with your uplifting of your slave master. That was not my intention. You know what I'm saying? As I said before, I am wholeheartedly for Black women dating out. But when you come up and you try to make it like the white man is the option, then what are you doing? Like, honestly, I really feel like Black people that do that, you can't be aware of your history. Like, you are you not aware? Did you not take African American studies in college? Like, I don't get it. Like, or was it just me? Is it I don't understand it. So like, you getting up there saying that is crazy. Like, and I could say a lot more to you about how you sounded. You sound like you have some identity issues. Just the tone and the cadence in your voice is giving very much whitewashed. You know what I'm saying? That you're not maintaining your own identity, which is rooted in the same self-hatred that these Negroes have when they uplift non-black women and put us down. But that's another topic for a conversation. But I could even still have you up here with a difference in opinion. But what I won't tolerate is disrespect, because you don't know me. I ain't never talked to you a day in my freaking life. You ain't never been on this app, on my live, interjecting and cutting in on people. So you got to chill with that. And I'm just gonna leave it there. And I really do practice what I preach when I talk about uplifting black women and not putting them down, because I promise you, if you were a black man or you were a man at all, I would have said way more to you that would have been way more harsh. But I'm gonna give you grace. Have a great day, sister. All right, let me go back up here. Gabrielle, was you done? If so, I'm gonna go over here and get with Deli and PhD.
Can I just say one more thing? I
Yeah,
promise I'll be brief. Just like,
no problem.
okay, yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that she had that attitude with her like cutting in, because anytime I hear like anti-feminist rhetoric from a woman, it really does like give me a red flag. And again, this has nothing to do with her dating out. For me, her dating white T men, like I said, I don't date BLK men, period. But it's just when she was saying like, oh, I don't want BW going too hard into feminism, that really is to me giving, you know, like the alt-right pipeline for me. So like her saying that, it doesn't surprise me that, you know, that she's would cut in and interrupt you and, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just gonna like land my plane because I know other people have to speak.
All right, all right. And I just wanted to say 200 in the comments. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Black women putting the cape down for black men and then starting to put the cape up for non-black men. You say that you don't want to be a mammy, but you do want to be a mammy. You just want to be a mammy for another race of men. That is absolutely pathetic. And that is the reason why black women still get taken advantage of when they date out, because you're expecting something different because of skin color, as opposed to unpacking your reason that you desperately are male centered, that you desperately will, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all get what I'm saying. That to me is literally nuts. Like it's crazy. And before anybody say in the comments, I'm here for black women dating out. Please do. Because the reason why black men act the way they do is because they feel like black women aren't going to do anything and they're going to stay. But I'm just saying that being a tap dancer, that's not the way to go either, man. That's all I'm saying. But I'm so sorry, Deli. Proud Black Woman want to respond to this. I don't want her to forget her thought. So just kind of go kind of quick, Proud Black Woman, and then I'll go to Deli and Kimmy.
Yeah, hey sis. I hate that that just happened. Oh, that kind of hurts my feelings. I think so. She's a follower of mine, and I think so. Let me just say this real quick. You know, because I've talked about this before. I have also dated white men. I started dating them early when I was in high school. And those were my personal experiences. I am not saying that the white tea man is better. I'm glad that I had those experiences because they have their own set of issues. There are things that white tea men did that are very different, okay? Which is why I had to let go of a few of them. So I never put a cape on for any man. Let's be very clear about that. I don't put a cape.
Oh, I know, Proud. I just want to say, Proud. But look, I totally,
Yeah.
I know where you stand. I
Okay.
respect you. I never thought that you did that. Ever.
Okay.
I never thought that you did. I did think that that lady down there did, but I never thought that you did.
But
You was
no,
very clear.
but no. But here's why I want to say that. So because I want to say this too. I would be lying to you guys if I said that my experiences were white men were not better. They were. That's just what it is. White tea men have treated me better than black men. Those are my personal experiences. So what she was saying, because she was married to a black man, she has a beautiful son. Her son is absolutely gorgeous, all black. And what she was saying was the way that the white man gets dumped on the same way that black women get dumped on. And I can see that because I've dated white tea men. So that was the point that she was making. I don't
I don't know, man. I just say this.
His
Like
sound.
she was mad disrespectful. And I didn't like the way she talked to me. I didn't like the way that she interjected. I didn't like the way she was trying to talk to Gabrielle. I just didn't like none of it. She was just disrespectful, period, all around. And for you to just come up in somebody live and you don't know them from a can of paint and just start violating, that's just not the type of games that I play. And the only reason why I wasn't even ice cold is simply because she was a black woman. If she would have been a man, it would have been a totally different. Y'all would have been able to clip what I said because I really don't play like that. And I don't like it when people come up here because I'm married to a black man. And I've been married to a black man, and it'll be 16 years this year, and he treats me like an absolute queen and princess. So I just want people to understand that it is not the color of the skin of the person that you are with. It is the person, period. If you choose certain types of black men, you're going to get a certain type of result. If you choose a certain type of white man, you're going to get a certain type of result. I don't know if y'all know that black lady that dates nothing but white men. She always talking about how she be online dating and all these white men be playing in her face. They be asking her to pay for the meal. They be disrespecting her. They be sleeping with her and not calling her back. And she be on this app crying every business day about how a black man played. How a white man played in her face. So that's the only thing is that I don't get with the whole idea of because that's insane. Because if somebody said, hey, you know what? If you say that skin color determines how somebody treats you, then black men can come up here and say, yeah, I don't know what y'all talking about. The white women I've got with have been feminine, have not been mean to me. They have been better than black women because that's when you start going down that slippery slope of saying color is the problem. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not trying to take away from any experiences. If you've had better experiences with Caucasian men, that's no problem. I'm not here to debate that. I can't debate anybody's personal experience. That's fine. But just coming up and saying it with your chest and making it like how she was making it was just wild. And even beyond that, I could have even tolerated what she said if she hadn't been so disrespectful, because I don't play disrespect at all. And I'll be damned, hot diggity damned, if you come on my live and it's the first time I ever freaking talk to you and you're going to be interjecting and talking reckless and wild and then going to tell me, girl, bye. Like, I really want to say something else, but like I said, I really do try my best to not get active with black women. I really do try my best. But it's just like, come on now. And then you disrespecting a young lady that gets on my panel a lot. Gabrielle, she's on here a lot. She don't ever even raise her voice. She don't even speak like I speak. Like, so it's like coming at her is extra crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'll be damned if I don't protect the girls that show up all the time. Like, and that I know really be rocking with me and be in my stuff, even if it's 100 people in here, or even if it's just 10 or 20. Even if it's 5 people in here, Gabrielle be up in here talking and interjecting and not interjecting, but speaking and adding to the conversation. So it's just like, nah, son, nah, fam, I can't get with that. Period. I can't get with that. If you want to go defend, Massa, then you can go defend that elsewhere. Because I am way too hip to black history. And even if we not talking about what happened to black men, because I could care less, respectfully, but there is a lot that has happened to black women. And if you're a black woman and it come out your mouth that you want to defend white men in any way, I know that you have got to be grossly uneducated with what has happened to us, only us, in the history of this country, period. You have people experimenting on our bodies with no anesthesia, playing games with our wombs, unaliving us, graping us and getting away with it. I just watched the story of in the 1900s where black woman was raped by the owner. She was a housekeeper. He raped her and she unalived that man, and they hung her in 2 days because she dared to unalive this man that raped her. So it's like, be for real. Excuse me. That's all I'm saying. Like, you have got to be grossly miseducated if you want to defend white men on any type of app. If you're not defending black men, but you defending white men, there's something wrong, baby. Because they have done just as much harm to us and still continue. Do y'all not see Project 2025? Do y'all not see them dropping Martin Luther King CIA files and not dropping nothing about this Jeffrey Epstein list? Like, white men don't like us collectively, bro. Nobody likes black women collectively. So that's all I'm saying, man. I'm not even about to go on my soapbox. I'm just saying, please educate yourself. Please, please take a class at your local community college, African American history, and lock in,
I
please.
respect that. I respect everything you said. And I'm gonna say this last thing and then let everybody else talk. We talked about earlier, right? We talked about just a little bit about why white men and black women have the lowest divorce rates, which they are the most successful couple, even though the numbers are very low, right? Even though they are rising. That I want y'all to understand that that's why. It is because of both white men and black women they both get dumped on. We both get dumped on in our community. We get blamed for every fucking thing. And our counterparts get to just do whatever they want. This is why we have the Karens, white women crying all over the place, playing the victim. Well, that's the same thing that black men do. I can't get a job because my daddy left. My mama ain't raised me. You know what I mean? So so that triggered, like, I want you to understand that from someone, that's fine. You didn't like the way she talked, that's fine. Take it from me though, as someone who has dated, I've been engaged to white men. I got to see that. I got to see with my own eyes how white women act in that community. They are the biggest entitled. If you don't do this the right way, I'm gonna act a fool. And that's what we deal with black men is black women. So that's all I want to say. That is why those relationships typically do work better, because they actually come together on that. Because I hear a lot of times black women saying, well, what do I have in common with white men? That is what we have in common with them. That's what we have in common with them. We're the punching bag. We're the punching bag. So I just want to land there.
Okay, all right, no problem. I accidentally invited somebody up, some dude. I'm sorry about that. Just somebody in the comments said that why was I defending black men? I just want to say this again because I don't understand if people don't understand context clues. In no way, shape, form, or fashion was I defending black men. I would never defend black men. I would never defend them because they don't defend black women collectively. So what do I look like getting on this app defending them? What I was saying is that it's insane to place yourself in a position of defense against a group of men that have done nothing but terrorize, grape, and unalive and take advantage of you as a black woman. That's all I'm saying. Now, you could talk about individually, white men that you know individually or your anecdotal experiences, cool. But when you speak about white men as a collective, that's when I get the ick because of what has occurred with us. But I am in no way defending black men. Let me make this clear. I am in no way defending black men because black men are unaliving black women. Black men are raping black women. Black men are raping black babies and black girls. Black men are ex-trafficking black women and black girls. They are doing the worst of the worst to black women as well. What I look like defending them Negroes. I'm not doing that at all, period. All I'm saying is the only reason why I speak up about this, because I could easily just let black women say what they want. The only reason why I speak about it is because I feel like if you don't unpack your desire for a savior as a black woman, you don't unpack that because black women don't get protected by black men, right? We all know this. We don't get protected by black men collectively. So black women yearn to see the protection that other races get. They want to get it, right? So they want to say, you know what? I'm going to go to this other race of man, white men, they going to do it for me. The Asians going to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? The Indians going to do it for me. Everybody going to do it for me. Forget you, black man. And because so many black women do that, it opens them up to be taken advantage of. Because now they aren't looking at those men as they are just as bad as the other races of men. They're looking at them as a savior. I only say it to protect black women, to let you know that you should look at all men as a threat. All men as an enemy, all men is a possibility that they may treat you badly or poorly or take advantage of you. Don't just think and take a deep breath, like waiting to exhale and say, oh, it's going to be okay because he white, because that doesn't necessarily mean the case or the truth. There have been so many black women that have told me about their horrible experiences. I know when I used to do hair, I don't do hair no more, but when I used to, it was a beautiful black woman. She was a gynecologist. She was telling me that she doesn't date black men at all. The stories that she was telling me about the white T Hispanics and the white T men on the things that they had said to her and done to her was crazy, wild. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm trying to say is that you could be mistreated wherever. That's it. I just don't want black women to put the cake down for black men and then pick it up for someone else. That's it. I could care less who y'all date, to be honest. All right? I'm just saying, that's it. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't have no agenda to push. I'm not trying to push y'all with no Pookie or no Ray Ray or get you to go back to Tyrone to save the black community. Like, I'm not trying to do that at all, period. I just want that to be clear. I'm not trying to do that. Date who you would like. Just keep your eyes open. That's why people always tell me that I stay in the middle. I try to stay in a rational and logical lane. That way the things that I say can be fact-based. They can be fact-checked. That it's just not my opinion. That it's actually rooted in some type of truth. That way that we can make sure that we're staying in a lane of rationale. That's it. That's all I'm saying, man. All right, but let me go down here to Deli. I'm so sorry, Deli, and I'm so sorry, Kimmy. Go ahead, Deli, if you had something to say.
Oh, I'll even give it to Dr. Kimmy because she's been waiting longer than I have. I'll just go after her.
Okay, I'm so
I
sorry,
have
guys.
no. I have my things that I want to say because everybody has been making great standpoints and points that I would like to expound on, but she's been waiting way longer than I have.
Okay, I got you. All right, I'm gonna go to Kimmy and then Deli. Go ahead, Kimmy, sis. I'm so sorry for the wait.
It's okay. I have to agree with you about the way white men treat black women. I feel like at the end of the day, it's still a man. Like, and I feel like black women are just so used to catering for everybody else, apart from ourselves. Like, we couldn't even stay on code. Like, we can't still stay on code for Shelly and Alondria. We see all these black women were attacking each other. Women from the diaspora constantly attacking each other. And it's just like we will constantly lose when we keep on placing other groups apart from ourselves, on top of ourselves. Like, do you know what I mean? White men don't care about us. Like, newsflash, Asian men don't care about you. Black men don't care about you. The people who care about you are the women who look like you, black women. And until we get that together, we're not gonna get anywhere.
All right, Kimmy. Let me go up here to Deli.
Of points that I wanted to talk about because everybody was saying such good things. And especially when we're talking about dating people outside of our race. And I thought that the girl I said, where that just went left real quick. Like, what did that even mean? But we had, as I stated earlier, we have a few stragglers that they do base their identity based off of. Oh, they're the saviors, like you stated earlier, and they are going to, because I've dated outside of mine. And it's crazy because if you in San Diego, you know that a black man will date a marshmallow and look at you like you're disgusting. So it's like a black man came up to me. I was dating a Peruvian at the time, and he very protective, always had my back. And he was like, why you date him? Now, mind you, when someone asks me a question of why I'm dating who I'm dating, I just say he's good, he's caring, he loves me for me, he goes out of his way. Sometimes I don't, for the most part, I don't even have to ask, and when I do, I know it's 100% that he's going to move some things around in order to get me what I need. He cares about me as a person, and I do the same for him. He encourages me, whatever I want to see. Like, those were my things. I never saw it as, oh, this person is a different color and I'm dating them specifically because of it. Like, it did not cross my mind. I started dating real late. But like when I was just like, and sure enough, because he went to the bathroom and I was waiting. And he was like, pardon my French, he was like, what the fuck are you talking to my girl for? Like, he was very protective. He did not like nobody. But I was just like, and he moved back to his home country. But it was just like, I don't have no reason, because when you hear black men talking and it's like, oh, I date her because black women are that, that's not the question. The question was asked, why do you date your partner? Or why are you dating them or married to them and things like that? Why are we in a discussion? So everybody got comfortable with, oh, they want me, and black women, ha ha ha. It's like, y'all are jealous of me. And I'm just like, girl, we didn't even know you was alive 5 seconds ago. So what does that even mean? And then I wanted to talk about how it's like, it doesn't matter. I wanted to go way back. It doesn't matter what we do. Like they will always view us, like Proud said earlier, they will always view us as competition. Like they have to get a one up on us. And they want power. They want the power that comes with it. They can do and say and be however they are, whether that is disrespectful or animalistic towards us, or if they are doing all of this, but they're going through a moment, right? Say they have an outlash or whatever, and people all of a sudden is like, oh, well, they're going through something, or, like just be patient with them. How come we don't hold that how come we don't hold that same space for ourselves is the problem to me. Simply because it's like we can have moments too. But at the same time, when we have our moments, all of a sudden we're threatened or we are abused because of it. So we are made to feel these emotions. And I do understand with growing up, you have to quote unquote toughen up, or you have to just be silent and take it and things like that. But that's not how I am. I've never worked that way. So I've always been shunned. And that's okay with me because you just pushing yourself out of the way so that I could do better. But like, how come we don't hold space within ourselves? Because everybody would do it at the drop of a dime, but then want us to include them. Meanwhile, they exclude us. That doesn't make any sense to me. So it was a couple of things, but I forgot it. I be talking too long. Now y'all go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry it took so long to get to you, sis. But I mean, I definitely agree with what you were saying. I really do think, though, if anybody takes anything out of this whole conversation, I really do believe that we as Black women have got to stick together, and we've got to realize that we are not only our strongest allies, but our only allies. And that is something that I think is very hard for a lot of Black women to stop doing, because I do think that Black women, we as a collective, are very loving, very accepting, very open arms, for other people. Don't like to see bad things happen. And when we see bad things happen to anybody, no matter what the group is, we get upset. Like, how are y'all doing them like that? Y'all know y'all not supposed to. Because I do think that Black women are very moral people. I really do. Deep down inside, Black women have a very strong moral compass. But we have got to stop doing that, because it's literally killing us, and no one cares about it. When we are giving everything to everyone, and we unalive, the same people that we were giving our lives to defend will pick our bones. And I really want y'all to understand that. I know that sounds gruesome, but it is the truth. They will pick your bones, sis. And they will pick their teeth with y'all femur bones or whatever. They'll just use them as toothpicks. That's how little they really care about us if they cannot use us in some type of servant role or mammy role. And I just, for one, am tired of it. Just like somebody in the comments said, oh, Shelly condoned on the podcast Sierra's racism. No, she didn't. She said she took accountability for it. She said that she hopes she does better. What y'all want Black women to do is get up there and pull their hair out and weep and wail and cry for another community that would never, ever, ever, ever do the same. Ask yourself why you feel like Black women should take up arms and fight against everybody for people that would never do the same. When do you see Asian women holding lives about Black femicide? When? Huh? Oh, never? When do you see white tea women talking about, oh my goodness, there are so many young Black girls being kidnapped. Let's talk about the Black women being the Black girls being kidnapped. Or let's talk about these Black men that want to put me on a pedestal over them. It's not right for you guys to put me as a white woman above your Black queens. It shouldn't happen. When do you see these other people doing it? Never. But yet these same ashy people can come in my chat box right now and talk about all the ways that they feel like Black women should be yelling and screaming for the Asian community. Please kindly go to the nearest bridge and take a jump off of it. Please. Honestly, because you are ridiculous. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. And I just want Black women to understand that we've got to start centering each other. We've got to start staying on code. We got to start building a tight, like a small circle sisterhood where we stop giving invites to the cookout. Just because somebody can dance, just because somebody can sing a little baby song. Oh yeah, you can come in, you can come in. We've got to stop doing that and realize that it's for us, by us only. Only. We have got to start centering each other, really. And I just don't know. I really do believe it's 50% of black women that are so lost that they probably won't even understand what the heck I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. Let me just I gotta have at least 2 people drop because it's 2 people that's been waiting for a while in the chat. But I'm gonna go down here to Kalandra and then to I think it was Simply or Sincere, sorry. So I'll go to Kalandra, then Sincere, and if I could just have one more person drop. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for dropping. Thank you, Proud Black Woman. And also thank you to the other. Oh, wait. It's actually I need another space because somebody else came up too. Just requested. But yeah, okay, so go ahead, Kalandra.
I don't feel like we should because a lot of them have very ageist beliefs about black women. Like I used to go to like Asian nail salons and they would always make me pay before they painted my nails. And my mom asked him one day because we used to live in like kind of like a town with a lot of white tea people, and a lot of them have belief stereotypes about black women. I think the answer to number 2 is about being male centered because like if we want acceptance for others, I would say it's more male centered because women are doing it to get the attention of a man. Because I mean, like you said, we have a community among black women. So I think it's because most women are very male centered and their ultimate goal in life is to get a guy. Number 4, I would say I think it comes from, I'm gonna say it, black men dating white tea women, and they have been like believing stereotypes about black women and they're pushing that to their kids. Like RG3, the way he came for Angel Reese, for example, they have beliefs about black women and they're gonna push those narratives to their kids.
All right, Kalandra. All right, let me go down here. All right, Kalandra. All right, let me go down here. Sincere, and then Shalotam, and then Self Love. I mean, you can come up, sis. One of the ladies that was about to come up, she just, I guess she dropped or whatever. Go ahead, Sincere.
I just wanted to say this. I Triggered, I am so proud of you. All you ladies on this planet I've heard this far, so intelligently expressing the things that black women have had to go through. Like I said before, I just want y'all to, as an older black woman, I want y'all to keep in mind of being cognizant of where you choose to love, how you choose to show up for yourself. Because like you said, whether or not you're dating a black man, white man, Hispanic, whoever, men are men, men are men. Please always remember that. But put yourself first. Always put yourself, your emotional, financial, spiritual needs above all else. Because one thing about a man, they're going to always put themselves first. And if you know nothing else, if I can tell you nothing else to do, never go to the mat. You know what I'm saying? To the mat for no man, because they will always embarrass you and they will always, I'm telling you, they'll make you want to regret ever putting yourself out like that. Because the mindset of a lot of men in our communities is that a woman owes them something, and that's why they especially black women, for some reason, I know because we are the givers of life, but they feel like, we're always, all of us are their mothers and we have to serve them in some capacity. So black women have always been treated like this ever giving being to everyone. We can't do that anymore, because that's why we have black women who have strokes, heart attacks, and are leaving up out of this world at an early rate, because we have not taken care of ourselves, our mental health, our physical health. Don't do it. It's not worth it. If you find somebody who's going to give you, that you can love and y'all can have a mutual respect for, cool beans. Do that. But do not, like this last young lady said, being male-centered has damaged us, and that psychologically comes from the black church. That's a whole nother conversation, but anyways, love you all. And I'm gonna drop down and just listen to y'all ladies talking while I'm in the comments.
All right, I appreciate you so much, Sincere. Thank you so much, sis. I think that this might be the first time I've spoken with you. I appreciate you, and I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you today, and hopefully I'll get a chance to interact and talk with you in the future. Let me go up here to Chilotam and then Self Love. Go ahead, Chilotam.
Everyone. It's been a minute. I've been listening in for a while, and I just wanted to give some of my thoughts because I really agree with most of what the ladies have been saying, and especially with this conversation around racism and Love Island. I saw that a lot of Huda supporters were, Nigerians and Black Africans, and I wanted to steer the conversation back to where we were talking about this number two, Black women having serious issues with acceptance from others. I feel like this particular topic comes from a very deep, uh, rooted colorism. I don't even know if to call it colorism or anti-blackness. It's the whole package, and it's really disappointing to see because um I saw somebody in the chat saying something about the African colorist supporters of like Love Island, and I'm sorry to say, but I have to agree because you see like levels of colorism that you've never seen in your life when you're amongst African people talking about people with lighter skin, and even like in movies, they prioritize women with lighter skin. And even growing up in schools, like when you have dark-skinned children in the class, people make fun of them. Mind you, like we live in a country that is 99.9% black. So I think that it just comes from some kind of colorism or self-hatred, and it's really unfortunate to see. And that's why I make it my duty to call out colorism whenever I see it, because I've said it before on on one of your lives that I think it's such a low IQ issue to judge somebody based on the color of their skin. So that being said, talking about non-black people not caping for black women or black people in general, I completely agree with that. And one of the things that really opened my eyes to it was I don't know if you guys remember in 2014 there was this outbreak of this disease or virus called Ebola. And back then I was still home in Nigeria. That was before I moved to the States. And the way, my God, the way we were treated, like because I think it started someplace in Africa. I can't remember which country, but the way we were just treated and ostracized just really opened my eyes. That and COVID as well, because in 2019, um, apparently in China they were kicking out a lot of Nigerians, kicking out a lot of Black people in general, and it was just like, so is this what we have to go through? Like just at the slightest problems that we go through, we're already ostracized um in the blink of an eye. So I just don't see the point keeping for people who would never do the same for you. And I also hate the conversation of, oh, but we should be the bigger person. Absolutely not. I'm not a fan of that argument at all, because it's very how do you say, like, when it's very it trivializes the problem that we are already facing by asking us to be the bigger, the bigger person. I just think it's really disrespectful. um in terms of dating, I don't date I don't want to say this out loud, but I don't date white men because one, I don't find them I'm not attracted to them like sexually. I'm only attracted to people who look like me. But at the same time, I still feel like a man is still a man. White people may have their own cultural problems that they are dealing with. Black people may have their own cultural problems that they are dealing with. So I don't believe in placing any race of men above the next one, because in at the end of the day, he's still a man, just in a different font. Um, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Chilotam. Let me go down here to Self Love. Go ahead, Self Love.
Hey y'all, hey ladies. I just came up to say I listened to both you Trigger and Proud Black Women, and I feel like both of you got valid things to contribute to us as Black women, because my whole thing, I took myself out of the dating scene, period, because I'm scared of men in general. And I'm glad that as a black woman who's married to a black man, that you are Trigger. You're not out there be a male center. You're not out here caping for these people, because most black women that have black sons and are also married to dusty black men, they always out here doing the most, being pick me's and mammies, always want us to do the same. And I appreciate you a lot, because when you come, you speak real, you speak the truth, you balance things where everything should be placed. I mean, if I were to be dating, and I told my daughters, because I only have girls, and my niece, please don't make black men an option, but then again, all men are the same. None of them are any better. But quite frankly, my not my ex, my late husband, he was a white man, and he treated me beautifully. You know what I mean? And I do understand what you say, Trigger, because not everybody experience are the same, because people are gonna have their different experience with different people that they deal with. But my experience, fortunately for me, was a good thing. And sadly, my husband passed in a car accident. Nonetheless, I'm not interested in men, and you are a good space and a safe space. I feel like in this internet for me, because I always look for you. And proud black women, I love you, baby girl. I love what you have to bring, because listen, you don't care. You know what I mean? You're not judging either, or you open your dating option, which I think that a black woman should be doing, because a lot of time when they claim that they pro black or they only date black men, that's one of the reason why black men think they be out here saying that nobody won, and that's true. Most people treat us that are not black men better than black men, and the reason that black men is out here talking their nonsense is because black women are allowed them to say that, because they just stick with them for a reason unknown, because black treat us just as bad as any other man. Unfortunately, that's sad, because we break motherfuckers, excuse my language. We their mothers, we their cousins and sisters, but they don't give a shit about us. And here we are as black, we're keeping for them, uh, praising them for doing shit. Most
Hey,
of them
self
is,
love,
most of
you
them are.
breaking up a little bit, sis. Self love, you breaking up a little bit.
Can you
You
guys
there?
hear me? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Okay, yeah. You got your bars up. Your bars are up.
Uh, all right. Poor connection. Okay, you can skip me for now. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, thank you for your space, and thank you, proud black women, for doing what you do. Because both of you guys have validated thing to do, that you guys have to contribute to us, and black women need to, support each other, because we all we have. And unfortunately, most of us hate each other for reason unknown to me. But nobody's gonna treat us the way we would want to be treated but ourselves, treating us with respect and love, because nobody respect us and love us wholeheartedly the way we do for ourselves. Not even our so-called sons, because we birthed these dusty, ugly, ungrateful motherfuckers. That's all I got.
All right, self love. All right. Let me go up here to proud black woman. Because I think you had some stuff to say. I think so. You said, sis.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for the compliment. That's so sweet. And somebody else triggered. Look, you're all that in this. That's really why I like being here, because black women, I feel like don't know how to separate, like individualize. And I talk about that. Like, I talk about how you can still date a black man and still see the problem with the collective. And I feel like a lot of black women don't know how to do that. Like, they don't know how to separate their sons and the men that they're with from what we got going on. Like, the black men in my family are great men, but that doesn't mean that that's the collective of black men. It's not. The majority of black men, we see the problem. So that's what I love about being here. I really wanted to ask a question, if it's okay. I I wanted to know if Black women have noticed, even you triggered, if you've ever been in clubs or bars or lounges and you've noticed how white tea women or even Latino women or Asian women, non-Black women, period, but it's mostly always white tea women, right? That are in there. I just want y'all to picture this. They're in there and they're in the crowd. They're with the crowd of Black women, okay? Because they're smart. Let me just tell y'all, they're very smart. They know if I'm gonna go into this all Black club, I have to be with Black women because Black women are going to protect me. So that means, and they use Black women against other Black women. I've been in that situation. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Where there's a white tea woman in there. She's with all these Black girls. She's getting all the attention. All the Black men love her. And then when you pass by, she's looking at you funny. She's looking at you like, yeah, go ahead and bump into me. I've been in that situation where one has rose up and I'm like, excuse me. And then the first thing she went and did was got her friends who were all Black, and not to mention were they all Black, they were all dark skinned. They were all dark skinned because let's be honest, when we think about the dog that's going to attack, and this is why I say my dark skinned sisters need to stop protecting them, because that's how they see you. They see you as, oh, I'm gonna go get the darkest Black woman because I know she gonna fight. I know she gonna fight for me. I've been in those situations. I can tell y'all stories when I was in my 20s where I was walking in the club with my friend. Here's the white girl looking at me funny, looking at me stupid, talking to a Black dude. Then when it's time for me to pass by, because I'm trying to get through to get over here, she don't want to move. We accidentally bump each other and she's like, excuse you. And I'm like, what? Excuse you? Like, how dare you be this? Oh, Tasha, get over here. I've been in that situation. Then Tasha comes up. Okay. And Tasha's like, what's up? What's up? What's going on? And I'm like, sis, like, you really trying to fight me because a white girl just got. So I'm telling y'all, when y'all sit up here and y'all defend these non-Black women, these are the situations we end up in. Now, who do y'all think would have went to jail in that situation? Had I been willing to fight another Black woman, we would have went to jail. The white tea woman gets to sit back and chill with the Black men that she came in the club to be with anyway. I need y'all, have y'all ever been in that situation? That's another reason why I don't understand why we as Black women will sit up here and anytime y'all see a white tea woman that has a big butt, why are y'all praising her? Why? That is a question that I would love to ask Black women. Why are you praising non-Black women for having the same features that we were just naturally born with? Why are you doing that? Is it because Black men do it? Those are things that I want y'all to think about. Can anybody relate to what I'm saying? Trigger, what do you think about that?
I definitely know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I've experienced that. And when you was talking, a whole bunch of other Black women said yes too. Absolutely. I've always felt like Black women that like, you know, it's a group of them and they got like one white tea girlfriend. I always felt the ick with that because it's like, no, because at the end of the day, she knows the power dynamic that y'all share. And she also knows that she's going to be prized and valued above you, you know, by Black men. And that's probably why she's there, to get a big old ego boost. And she doesn't even have to look better than you either. Like, she cannot look better than you, but it's just a simple fact that her white skin is going to give her a boost amongst a lot of these self-hating Black men, which is disgusting. Yeah, I never was with that. And, you know, I have in my life, I've tried to have a couple of white tea friends, white tea women friends, and things have never worked out properly. And the reason why they have not worked out properly is because they have shown to me and exposed racist ideologies and behavior. And I just said, after the second time it happened to me, I said, never again. I said, I will never, ever in my life befriend one of them, talk to one of them or anything. And I'll even give y'all something that proves proud Black woman point. Okay. And this is actually embarrassing to me. So it was this white tea girl when I was in cosmetology school, right? She always used to get bullied and picked on and stuff like that. And I was like, actually, you know how Black women be. I was offended by that. I was like, these girls, because there was a lot of Hispanics in there, Latinas, and it was a lot of Black girls too, but not that many white tea girls. And I felt like they tried her because they knew she wasn't gonna say nothing. So me and her ended up becoming cool, you know, and one day, me and her used to sit in these seats together. It was me, her, and like two other black girls. And she was the girl that was in our little crew of talking in school, in cosmetology school. So she always used to sit next to me. I came in there, I had put my stuff down. She had put her stuff down. This like white T Latina girl had took her stuff down and put it on the floor. And she looked at me. And I told her, I said, hey, that's such and such seat. And she was like, yeah, I know. And she just laughed and walked away. So then when my white tea friend came up, she said, whose stuff is this? I said, yeah, it was the white tea Latina girl. She put your stuff on the floor. And so she was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get my stuff and I'll just sit somewhere else today. And she looked so pathetic and sad, right? That I was like, oh man, I gotta say something. So when the white tea Latina girl came back, I told her, I said, hey man, that was my friend. See, move your stuff. And she was like, oh, well, she ain't say nothing to me. I said, she ain't say nothing to you because she ain't gonna say nothing. Move your stuff right now. And I'm 5'11", okay? So I'm a very imposing person in person because I'm so tall. So she was like, oh my goodness, this lady probably gonna beat me up. So she just left. But she went and told the teachers, right, that I did that to her. So when the teachers came around and was like, did you intimidate such and such? Did you yell at her? Blah, blah, blah. I was trying to tell them that I did it in defense of my white tea friend. Do you know she threw me under the bus and said she ain't know why I was going off on her and that I was being aggressive for no reason? And I was sitting there looking like a dummy, a goofball. I was looking so stupid. And I was so mad. Do you know I stopped talking to her? She tried to get me to be her friend again. She kept trying to talk to me. She brought me some food. She brought me some flowers. I told her no. I said, after you threw me under the bus like that, bro, absolutely not, man. It was crazy. I even got in trouble, bro. They told me that I had to get off the clock for like 2 hours. That was like a punishment that you get like in cosmetology school. Like you got to clock out and still be there. It was crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. But
Yeah.
like seriously though, like that is I be wondering, like black women, like we're being used. Like they will use us to go against other black women. And it's like they're calculating. I hate to say that. They're very, very calculating in my opinion. So
Sure, can I say
Add
something real
something.
quick? Oh, okay.
Who's that? Who's that? That said it first. Whoever it is, y'all can go ahead. Y'all can talk about my stupidity if y'all would like.
Oh no, no, no. That's this story is insane. But I was just going to say that, and this is one of the reasons why I don't mind being called unfriendly, because I've also seen some type of narrative about, black women being unfriendly or just being hostile, and sometimes it's just when you just don't want to talk, like you're just being yourself, you're just quiet. But somehow that's kind of used to paint us or paints you as, I'm not speaking to you directly, Triggered, but I'm saying like it's used to paint the collective of black women as unfriendly and as hostile, or as maybe not easy to get along with. And I stopped feeling like the villain a long time ago, because it's just like no matter what I do, you're still going to find a problem with it. And it's just ridiculous. And that's why till today, because I do read a lot of history, like I'm very interested in American history, and the more things I find out, the less the how should I say this now? The more things I find out, the more guarded I am. Like I'm very conscious about, and I hate to live life that way, but it's just one of those things that I have to do. So I just wanted to chip that in real quick.
Okay, no problem, sis. I think it was Calandra. Was that you, Calandra?
Yeah, it was me. I just want to say, when it comes to like club incidents, and for me as like a plus size woman, and then when I see like black men date bigger white women, I just think to myself, I definitely blame them because of their self-hatred of themselves, and because they want to be YT so bad. I blame them with how like other women treat us in the club because of their self-hate. And then the fact that I truly believe that when black men date other races of women, I do believe that they go talk badly about black women, because I've seen in my own family, like one of my cousins, he's married to a YT woman, and we don't really talk to him because he starts seeing stereotypes about black women.
mhm.
All right, all right, all right. Kalandra, okay, let me go down here too. And you guys, I think I'm gonna end this live because I gotta I've been fasting, y'all, for 36 hours. I do ADF fasting, I do alternate day fasting. So I've been fasting for 36, y'all. So I gotta give me something to eat. All right. But I'm gonna go down here to I think that was Delhi, and then I'll let everybody else speak again before I get out of here. And then I'll try to come back, but it'll probably be about a different topic, y'all. Actually, you know what? I was thinking about doing a topic. Now, I don't watch Basketball Wives. I stopped watching Basketball Wives years and years ago. I really don't really watch too much reality TV other than like the little love reality TV. Like I watch Love Island and Love is Blind. That's pretty much the only two. But other than that, I don't really watch reality TV too much no more. But I seen this viral clip of like Jackie and her daughter going at it and stuff. And then, Jackie's daughter like pushing her and Jackie's, slapping her daughter. And I just wanna the live when I come back, it'll be about like toxic moms and like, do you think it's okay to hit your mom?
Trigger, I'm sorry, but can I add one more point to that?
Oh
I was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
gonna
Go ahead.
tag you in the video about that because Jackie's daughter's her issues is that she decided to chase a man and let her mom raise her kids. And so I think you should do it about why male-centered women shouldn't have children.
Okay, and you said, because see, I don't be watching the show. So Jackie's daughter, she the one
Back
that
in
let the kids hit the mom?
2018, they were all in therapy. Jackie with her oldest daughter, like she treats her oldest daughter bad because of colorism. And her second daughter, the one that was in the fight with her, she said that her issue with Jackie was that she decided to chase the basketball, her dad around. He's a famous basketball player around, and she left them with her mom. And she basically felt like Jackie started saying like, "Oh, I wanted y'all to have nice things, so I wanted to chase him, so to see like if he wouldn't be cheating on me and stuff." And the girl was like, "You wasn't there to tuck us in. You wasn't there to do that." And so I think Jackie is male centered, and I think you should do the lie about why male centered women should not have children.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, then that's what we'll do. We'll talk about all of that, man. All right, let me go down here to Deli. Go ahead, Deli.
I just wanted us to stop. It's not that any women here in this space. I was just having a good conversation with someone else, but I want us to stop saying angry, bitter, baby mama, all that stuff. Those labels were given to us, and for anybody who's going through something, I want you to feel those type of emotions, like AKA you were hurt, or oh, I felt protective at the time, so I had to kind of like lash out and just protect myself from these things, or how the emotions behind it. I really need us to stop, because I will not call a Black woman angry. I will not call her a baby mama. I will not call her well, we're talking about the subject of women who are male attention seeking, but those are the proper words. But what I will not do is use those labels against Black women. Those labels were forced on us, and I'll be darned if I use that ghetto, yep, loud, all of these ratchet, all of these words. No, I'm going to use it for other people who are actually acting these ways, who are actually acting ratchet, who are being disrespectful, who are loud and aggressive. I will not place that on Black women. I will sit there and be like, hey, and this is where grace comes into. I will sit there and say, okay, so what happened and all of that? Because now we need to find the story, right? Because when clips come or when videos happen, well, what did they do? Okay, well, let's find the real story. Well, let's have because they always want something to judge us off of. So what I will not do is sit there and jump to a conclusion and sit there and say, okay, well, what did you do? No, 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 no. How did this affect you to the point where you had to get there and express yourself in that type of manner? You didn't feel protected. You were hurt. You had to lash out to protect yourself because you knew nobody was coming. I am not about to sit there and call anybody by those dictations that they decided was ours. It is not ours. So every time I speak to a Black, I will not say those words. Not that the person in question, I think it was Miss Chrissy, baby, but I was just like, baby, you are not. You are hurt. You are disappointed. I will use those words. I will never use those words against a Black woman to define who they are. Okay, that was it. But we can talk about a whole bunch of things.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Miss Deli Pooh. Let me go up here and I'll end it off with Chilotam, then Gabrielle, and then Proud Black Woman. Go ahead, Chilotam.
Yeah, I wanted to say something on the phenomenon of black men, dating out and marrying non-black women or dating non-black women. And I personally don't have an issue with that per se until it gets to where they start to do it like it's I think it's different when black women date out versus when black men date out, because black women who date out are not usually like, they don't usually denigrate the rest, should I say the rest of black men. Um, they don't date out for self-hate purposes, but I usually see the other way around when it comes to black men dating out. Like they usually are very colorist, or they just don't like themselves, or they let these women say the N-word. Personally, I don't use the N-word. It's not in my vocabulary because I grew up in a different country. I don't think people who aren't black. I don't even think people who aren't, I don't know, who didn't grow up in America should use it, but that's just me. And I've seen cases like this. Like I knew a Nigerian dude. He lives in Canada though, but he grew up in Nigeria. I mean, most of us immigrate out of Nigeria, so we meet ourselves here. And he told me because he was dating I'm trying not to say it explicitly, like a WW, right? He was dating her, and at the time, he told me that he would like to, like when they're in the bedroom, doing the do, he would like her to call him the N-word. And I said, first of all, you, okay, what's your connection to this word? If let's even like start from the basics, because what's your connection to that? You didn't you didn't grow up in America. You live in Canada. You lived most of your life in Nigeria. So what is your connection to wanting to be called this word? And secondly, how can you hate yourself to the extent that I don't get it. You want that level of race play. I don't think, sorry, I'm kink shaming at this point, but I have to, because it's ridiculous. Even I think this was also a case with, was it Shannon Sharp? I can't remember, somebody who is kind of into that, one of the black male
Yep, it was Shannon
athletes.
Sharp.
Yeah, thank you. It was him as well. So you just never see black women doing that kind of stuff because black women respect themselves more and have some kind of dignity when it comes to these things. And if anything, I feel like the most a reason why a lot of black women are dating out now is because the options, like the male counterparts that we have, are not really doing what they're supposed to do. I see this especially in Nigerian men, like they're very like they always love to compare us Nigerian women to white women, and that's how I just know that, because now I've had a taste of both sides. Like I live in the States and I've lived in Nigeria. Now I see that it's a unique black male issue, and it's going to take so many years to unlearn and undo most of the mentalities that these people have. But that's all I had to say. And thank you so much for your platform. I always enjoy listening to your lives. I actually listen to your lives every morning when I'm driving to the office. It's always so it's always so interesting because you have so many intelligent ladies here, and I love hearing from everyone as well. So thank you.
No problem, no problem, sis. Yes, I do. I have a lot of beautiful black women on there. Like I already knew black women were special, but once I started doing like social media, like I realized that like black women were beyond that, because it was just so many black women that I would come in contact with that were intelligent, well spoken, thoughtful, intentional, beautiful on the outside, beautiful on the inside, really nice, uplifting, building. But the truth be told, I realized that once I started doing hair, because I came across so many different black women, and it was like people tell you that a lot of bad things about us, but it's really not true. I would say the majority of us are amazing. Like, but anyway, let me just keep going. Go ahead, Gabrielle, and then we'll end it off with Proud Black Woman.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Triggered. Yeah, I just wanted to say I definitely again agree that, we should not be, going above and beyond for other people. I don't think we should, especially those who don't reciprocate. I also think that if anyone who's trying to like seek acceptance from others, I think that that is a sign that there is internal work that needs to be done. So yeah, I definitely agree with like the broader points of what we've been talking about. And just to really wrap it up, I also just did want to really drive home the point about feminism being a net positive for BW. Feminism is why we can leave relationships, get divorced, have checking accounts, savings accounts, get loans, and why we don't have to live lives that were as restrictive as our grandmothers. And like I said earlier in the live, in the past couple of years, I've learned about so much stuff that my grandmother went through and things that she would not have had to go through if feminism had been available. So I do think it is, positive for BW, and that is always something I'm going to stand on. But again, thank you, Triggered. I am so glad that I was able to catch this live, and yeah, thank you so much.
No problem, no problem. And just so anybody knows, if you're anybody new in here, I do have a YouTube channel. All you have to do is just click on my page, and the link is in my bio, and it'll take you to my YouTube. I do upload a new video every day at 6 a.m. Just so you know, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. I upload a video every day. So, yeah. And let me go down here finally to Proud Black Women. I appreciate you so much. Go ahead, sis. Let me see if her microphone. You there, Proud Black Woman?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Hi. Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Triggered, to you, and to all the ladies. But I just want to speak directly to you. I think you heard me say this. Like, I thought I was crazy growing up, like in high school, 17 years old, trying to talk to other Black women about this, and they wasn't trying to hear me. Nobody was listening to me. Nobody cared. When I would say, oh, it doesn't bother you that Black men date out? Oh, it doesn't bother you that your own brother doesn't like Black women? Oh, no, I love Black men. That's my brother. I love my brother. Like, I thought I was going crazy. I thought there was something wrong with me. I used to cry. I used to cry about this. I was a senior in high school. I used to pray. I used to go to bed at night. I used to pray. I used to ask God, please, please, one day, let Black women open up our options and get out of this bondage that we have. Will you please do that? And he did. It took all these years. We're talking about 1997, 1998, y'all. That's how far back this passion goes for me, which is why I am so adamant about it. It's one of the reasons I love your space, because you don't allow disrespect. You don't allow Black men to come in and deflect, gaslight us. You stand strong in who you are as a Black woman, and that is rare. I want you to know that we are rare. Most Black women break. Most Black women fold. And I will not. I will push whoever off a cliff. I'm not going to fold. I'm not going to break. God gave me this passion as a teenager. I am now in my 40s. And I look back at that and I'm like, I'm so grateful that I lived long enough. God literally answered my prayer. This is the one thing I used to ask God for, to please let Black women see the things that I saw so we could change the community. Because I'm telling you, Black women, the community it's going to change when we change our mindset. Black men, if you're waiting on Black men to change, you are going to be waiting another 100 years. It is on us. We have the power. We have the power to decide whether Black men even exist. The fact that I have no kids, there's a Black man that's never going to make it down here. I want you guys to know how powerful that is. So we have the power to lay up with them and continue to create children in a community where you already know the men are more likely to leave you, or you have the power to say, you know what, I want to choose better. I want to do differently than what my cousins did. I want to have a better life than what I saw my mother have. I don't want to struggle. We have the power to do that. God is waiting on us to change. And your actions, your mindset drives your actions. Remember that. So that's why it's so important for us to change our mindset and how we think, because that's what drives you. If you're still thinking and hoping that somebody's going to come in and save us, you will never do anything and nothing will ever change. If you change your mindset and say, you know what, I want God to help us so that Black women can be safer, then you're going to change your mindset and start doing things that will help you save yourself. So one, make sure that you don't lay up with a dusty. Make sure that you just don't get pregnant for any man, especially a man that you're not married to. We already see how the men in our community have no problem leaving you a baby mom, for the most part. Some Black women are going to get lucky and blessed. But for the most of us, the remainder of us, we're never going to get married unless we open up our options. We know that now, right? So we have to change our mindset, and we have to be willing to let Black men fall off the wayside. It's not our job to save them. That's on them. And also remember, you cannot change the reputation of Black men. The same way we can't change, the only people who can change the Black woman's reputation is Black women. Okay. If y'all want to change the whole bitter or whatever they want to call it. And I agree with her. I think it was, who was it? Deli, who said we're not using those words no more, but I'm saying that that's what they say about us. We have to be willing to not be afraid to share our feelings and be okay with saying, look, I was hurt. Like, I have no problem saying I was in therapy. That's why I speak on the things that I say, because like I said, I thought I was going crazy when I was in high school. And then as I got older and I started doing research on interracial dating and on looking back at the Black Panthers and how even back then when they was all the Black men that was so-called Black power was still sleeping with white tea women. When I learned about that, I was like, wow, Black men as a collective group have never put Black women on a pedestal. There's never been a time. When I found out that Martin Luther King was dating Betty Moitz, the white tea woman, and literally told her the only reason why he couldn't be with her is because he wouldn't have been able to do what he wanted to do, but he was cheating on his wife with her. When I found that out, I was crushed. So this is what I'm saying. It's so important for Black women to put ourselves first. It's not our job to fix the community. We're done with trying to fix the community. Black women need to fix ourselves. We need to focus on us and little Black girls. Let the Black men save themselves, because the only way they're going to become better men, y'all, is when we let them go. That's when they will grow and become better men, is when you stop saving them. And that goes for everyone else involved. Everybody else. I'm not saving nobody. If you're not a Black woman, if you are not a Black girl, I ain't got nothing for you. I'm minding my business. And I don't care about how the world feels about that. I have already resolved this with the God that I serve. So wherever I go when I leave this earth, I'm fine with that. I'm not saving nobody except Black women and girls. We come first. I make no apologies about that. And that's why I appreciate being in your live, Triggered. And I will land there. Thank you, ladies, for listening. And I hope I was able to say something that made some sense.
I appreciate you, Proud Black Woman. You definitely said a lot that made sense. I agree with what you said. I really don't even have anything else to say. I think all of you ladies expressed everything, perfectly and fine. I appreciate everything that y'all said. The only thing I want Black women to take out of this whole thing is just that we need to stick together, period. Because if like, Love Island, I know that seems to be like a minimal thing, like a reality show, but it should let you know, if you can see how these girls are being treated, how the world thinks about us. And we got to stop being the ones that do everything, and I really don't have too much to say, that we should just put each other first and put everybody else to the wayside. And who cares what anybody says, because people will always try to come at you as a Black woman on this moral perspective. Well, is that the right thing to do? Oh, should you do that? Oh, that's not fair. But nobody ever says that it's unfair with how everybody deals and treats us. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. But I appreciate all of the ladies that came up here today. Everybody was intelligent. Everybody was on point. And I thought that I might get more pushback on the negative side, but I really didn't. And for that, I'm so infinitely grateful. And hopefully, with these lives and things like that, we can get more and more Black women that'll be on the side of our side. And the more people, Black women, that we can turn on our side to centering each other, the better off we'll be. And I do believe that people will respect us more if we start doing this as a collective. But anyway, I'll see y'all later. I got to give me something to eat, y'all. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Bye, y'all.
All right, bye.
Bye.